Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy, so keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
You speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And how alike sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
My wife, she's missing. I fear terribly for her safety.
Some women are just looking for a reason to go missing.
She disappeared into the Ahedar Desert, the heart of the Whispering Waste.
As suicides go, it has an exotic appeal.
I fear she has returned to my former mansion. If you would track her, find her, bring her home.
You'd pay me in sad looks and liquor?
The mansion was never reclaimed by the tax collectors. Dark rumors swirl amid the whispering winds. Land leviathans maroon amid the dunes and cataclysms past. If my vault is untouched, its entire contents, the wealth of 5 noble generations, are yours.
You had your openers and closers reversed.
I should warn you, Sir Thief, or Nachtin the boards call it. The dead citadel. Worse still, the Whispering Wastes do not lie empty. Rumors swirl of a figure, stooped and shrouded in grey, face hidden, dragging a silver blade at his side, carving his way through the criminal element of 2 entire countries. None have divined its purpose, and it has only ever spoken one word, one most would not even recognize as a name.
I remember childhood without any friends. Just me and my imagination. So I made up my own friend. Crim's my best bud. I don't know what I'd do without him. But there's some things we should keep locked away. Not the imaginary friends, but the imaginary fiends. Crim, where are you?
Nosfero. Does this word not sound like the death bird culling the living dead at dawn? It is the name both ghouls and demons dare not say, for they know it means death for the undead.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Speakeasy Inspiration Preserve and Shanth Enjeti art. I am Shanth Enjeti. Welcome to the show. We're going to be doing some painting today. It's going to be cloudy with a chance of spoilers. You never know how it's going to go on this show. We got some great people in the chat. I would say it's a balmy 49 degrees here in Rhode Island, so I hope it's nice in your neck of the woods. And we'll see where we go from here. We got some great people in the chat. I want to make sure I get to you guys, so let us see who we have. First and foremost up in this place. Let's see, we got John here in the chat. Welcome, John. We have Siege Perilous is here. We have American Comics Company. Where's Siege? These are not in perfect order, because I know it does some kind of weird thing. The first person, I believe, in the chat was Stephen Rockwood. There he is. Stephen Rockwood drawing. Channel member Stephen Rockwood, it is great to see you. We have got John, we have got American Comics Company. You're always in good company when American Comics Company is in the house. We have Siege Perilous, who was in here second. It is great to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. We've got Mighty Geek Studios. It's Mighty Geek Studios time as well. It's great to see you. We have channel member Timmy Mello in the house. Timmy, it is great to have you here as always. That is the way that it is. Let's see who else. We've got Citizen Ronan here. Hail, Citizen Ronan. I hope you are doing well, and everything is going well in your world. I know we've all got a ton of stuff going on, so I completely understand and appreciate you guys spending time here with us today. Let's see who else I've got here in the chat. We've got Lord Ravener. I bow to you, Lord Ravener. I hope you are enjoying your painting, my friend. Much love. Let's see who else we've got here. We have got the Art and Times of Jay Ryan. It is great to see you, Art and Times of Jay Ryan. I've got a couple of new people in here. I just wanted to make sure, people I hadn't seen in here in a while. We've got Phil. It is great to see you, Phil. Hail, Phil. Check out Lost Pages 3. Link in the description. Hail Waffles. Hail to Ellie Munoz, channel member Ellie Munoz. It's great to see you. Neon Todd Studio is here. Hail, Neon Todd. Amanda B in the house. It is great. Class has started, Amanda B, and you are right on time. Now, I'm missing somebody else I saw in the chat earlier, and this is going to annoy me. There we go. We have got, oh my gosh, Tony Capone Comics right here. Hail, Tony Capone. I hope you are doing well. Make sure, I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, please let me know. And I hope you guys are having a great Monday wherever you are, or a Tuesday if you are in Australia. So we're going to be working on a bunch of stuff today. The interesting thing about doing this whole YouTube thing, as you guys know, and the fun thing about it, Shanth, did you get my note about Tennessee? I did not, John. I'm gonna have to go and check that out. Holy cow! No, I did not see that, John. But I will go check it out as soon as I get a chance, man. But yeah. So the interesting thing about being in this space is there's a lot of elements to it, right? There's the doing the work, there's the painting the comics, there's the making all of this stuff, but then there's also the YouTube stuff. And I have to tell you guys, while it's a lot of plates to spin, I think the biggest thing that it takes to do this stuff and to keep doing this stuff and improve at doing this stuff is to just kind of say to yourself every now and again, it's going to feel like, oh my gosh, you know, I can't stream unless this is done, or not this is done, I should say. I can't stream, I might show this, I might do this, I might do this thing. At a certain point, the biggest thing about being in this space, looks like you can move back to Tennessee. They've banned public... I just saw that. You guys trying to kill me this early in the morning? Oh my god, you just cracked me up. But, you know, it's true. Listen, it is a lot to me, Mello. But let me say this. Let me take this somewhere positive, too. You have to just force yourself to do it. You have to force yourself to do it. And it's one of those things, and to me, I appreciate that. It's one of those things that John Malin, you know, talks about, and I think it's really true. The art process, the creative process is something that a lot of us do, you know, when we're just kind of, you know, in our own space. We're doing our own work, and we don't tend to do it with an audience. And whatever you do, the positive thing about doing an art stream and a painting stream, yeah, it's almost 1 p.m. in Rhode Island. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? The crazy thing about doing, you know, art streams is you're never going to run out of content. The tough thing about doing art streams is you just got to get yourself into a groove where you're painting and you're talking at the same time, where you're doing this stuff. And you really don't get to be an introvert, because if I want to make Nosfero as big as it needs to be for it to be viable for me and my family, and frankly, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for coming in, hitting the like, subscribing, and getting the word out. We had a bump in numbers this week. Thank you, RAZÖRFIST. Happy birthday, KSSS. It's good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? I love seeing you in the chat, my friend. And this is the thing about it, right, is that you have to kind of put yourself into that zone. And the more success you get inside of this space, and the more that you see success, the more stuff you're going to see. You're going to deal with trolls. You're going to deal with all this stuff. And I was talking to my wife about it the other night. And I was just telling her as a sort of an analogy for something we were talking about. And I told her, I go, you know, babe, you know, a typical thing that you'll get when you start getting trolls, when you get to that level, not even trolls, let's just say this. People who are just, you know, trying to, you know, set up a new Twitter account and do whatever. You have to kind of laugh because, and she was like, oh my God, that's terrible. Why would somebody do that? And I go, babe, we are out in this space, guys. We are out in this space. Oh my gosh, Brian F., it's great to see you, my friend. Oh, snap. Hey there, Shanth. Graduated in 2011. Loved your class. Thank you so much. Wishes from Brian F. Brian, it's great to see you in the house. I hope you are doing well, my friend. And it's one of those things, you know, where it's Oh my gosh. Yeah, thank you guys. You guys are responsible for all of that. But just to be clear about this, how do I word this? The thing about any of this stuff is it's a marathon. It's a marathon, and you have to kind of say to yourself, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be committed to getting this thing, doing the streaming more. Getting it done is not a hard commitment, because it's like, why else am I, doing it? It's so much work. Nobody gets into this to not finish the damn thing, I hope. Otherwise, I don't know what the heck they get into it for. But it's like, if someone told me, I want to get into comics because I think it'd be easy, it'd be like, I think you're in the wrong place. But the thing about it that is amazing is you also have this opportunity when you're streaming to bring a little positivity into people's life. Yes, this thing of ours. Amen. And that can be really hard when there's so much negativity everywhere. But I sort of think that it's something that is why I'm here, why I'm trying to do what I do, is because I want to make this thing become as big as it can become, so I have to put myself out there. But mixed in with that is an opportunity to bring positivity to people and to bring art into people's lives. And that's the thing that I think is, at the end of the day, that's the thing that if you hold fast and you stay focused on that, you stay focused on the job, what you're supposed to be doing, all the rest of the stuff, God willing, will work itself out. It's going to just be labor on top of labor on top of labor. But I don't think that's anything that's foreign to you folks in the chat. I don't think that's something that I'm talking about where you guys are like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Shanth. That only applies to painting comics. There are things that are specific to every job, and there are things that are universal to hard work. And you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about. Because we've all been there. We've all been there. We've all been working hard. We've all been trying to get things done. And so what you will find is, if you try to do anything and put anything out there in this world, you are going to find, that you're going to get a certain amount of blowback, right? You're going to get a certain amount of stuff coming your way. But what I cannot overstate is that the risk of not putting yourself out there, especially if you're doing so, honestly, and you're not, trying to construct something or whatever, the thing about it is that you might not find the people who rock with you, the people who are ride or die with you, the people who are going to support you and be there from the start and grow this thing. I think about the late, great Frank Frazetta and how his fandom made his Taschen book sell out in like a week or two, or not even a week or two, like in a week. This man has been in the ground now for a couple of years, and he is such an icon. He is such a hero. He brought so much amazing artwork to people that his fans and new generations of fans, are falling in love with the stuff and making that stuff sell out. And if that doesn't make you smile, I don't know what does. So to be here with you guys at the start of something that is just something I have been dreaming about doing forever is an incredible thing, man. And that's what I love about it. Absolutely, Lord Ravener. The success is doing it when it's not fun. Anyone can do the fun parts. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And Orion22, good to see you, my friend. Thanks. A little off topic, but I want to say you gave me one of the hardest interviews of my life, asking the great questions, etc. From, let me see here. From there on out, the rest was easy. Thank you so much. That was the goal, guys. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, going back to what I was talking about with my wife, the thing that was so funny about it is she goes, how do you handle, stuff like that when you put yourself out there? And I go, well, it's not, you don't get up in the morning and think, oh, well, this is going to be a fun day. But the thing I said to her is, if you've had people, and this speaks to what I used to do when I used to do practice interviews with my students, if you've had somebody yell a racial slur at you from across the street, or, a group of people, if you've ever had, been beaten up and you've ever had all those kinds of things, this is nothing. And you need to be strong to be in this space. You need to be strong, frankly, to be in any space. So people, what people got to realize is that when people meet and find people who are positive, in spite of negative experiences, that's the strongest kind of positive you're ever going to find. And there's something about it that you can't tear down. You can't pull that stuff down. It's like when you do, it tears away at yourself. You know, when you try to tear down something good, at the end of the day, it starts to tear away at you. And so what we're trying to do here is we're trying to make stuff positive in the sense of real positive. Because I think that good is strong. I think that optimism is strong. I do not think they're naive. If you're naive, and you're like, you know, Prince Siddhartha before he became the Buddha and realized the aspects of suffering, then that's not really being brave. That's not really being courageous. That's not really being strong. But if you've watched, the people I respect most in this world, and there's a lot of you in the chat, are the people... Art space spreading. Exactly. That's exactly right, John. Yeah, go back to where you came from, Tennessee. That's right. Yeah, the importance of a strong legacy, even in crossing death, the dead still speaketh. Amen. It's true with Frazetta, man. It's true, man. I'll tell you this, man. This is the thing about all of this stuff. I constantly get catcalled by Randy women. I know, KSSS. I know. Here's what I'll say about all of this stuff, guys. We come into this space. We come into this space, and we try to figure out, okay, well, what is it that I'm going to do? What are going to be the imaginative things that I bring to the table today? What is going to happen in there? And it is such an incredible thing to be able to do this work and to be able to make this stuff happen with you guys in this space. Let me check something here too, because I just want to see something. This camera, can I do this? Heavens to Betsy. Hold on a second. Camera. Show camera switcher window. Is that what I'm after? Let's see. Nope, that's not what I want. Recording output. Holy cow. This is way too complicated for my brain. Let's see here. I'm going to have to figure this out at some point. No, alright, cool. Just making sure I get the color correct on this. But this is the thing, right? It's when we're sitting here and we're making this work come together, and we're trying to figure out, you know, what are we going to do with stories? What are we going to do with the invention? What are we going to do with all of those little details? The thing that it really comes down to is keeping it consistent, as I often say with Denzel Washington at the start of this, why I like to play that. Keeping it consistent and making sure you're staying in a zone where you're imaginative. Now, in order to be in that zone where you can, you know, do your peak performance, you can't have a cloud of negativity around you. In order to be in this world, you have to deal with having a cloud of negativity around you. And that is, and also positivity too, but the cloud of negativity is still there. You're going to still see it. It's still going to be around. So what are you going to choose to focus on? So this week, one of the things that's been kind of amazing for me is that I've been sitting around and going, I basically say to myself, what the hell are you doing? You know, like, what are you doing? Like, just do this, work. Just do this, work. Whenever I hit a wall with something, if I see something in my house that needs to get sorted or fixed, I'll do it. When I say, oh, right, we need to go out and have dinner sometime soon. Babe, let's hop in the car. Let's go have dinner. We haven't had a date in ages because we got so much work going on all the time. That's really what it comes down to. And what I would say to all of you guys there here who come in here and back this book and support me and this YouTube channel and all of that stuff, you crazy lunatics, the thing that is I want us to make sure that we're always doing is seeking out that inspiration and bringing that inspiration into our lives and not letting the hate, not letting all the stupidity get to us. It's not worth it, man. Hail, Shadowhawk Talks. It's great to see you, my friend. How are you doing? My God, long time no see. Teflon Ron in the house. Nothing sticks to Teflon Ron. So this is the thing, right? Armafeg, it's great to see you. How are you doing? Let's see here. I'm awake early. Finally here, Sean from the Hotson chat. Hail to you. It's great to see you. Channel member. Much love. Man, you guys are the best. So this is the thing that's crazy, right? So I was looking at, my wife went and did something, the missus, that is, like, I'm not the kind of person who's going to go out and spend money on myself and, you know, buy myself something, you know, crazy. And when the Frank Frazetta book came out, I was like, oh my God, I need to get this thing. It's so awesome. And, but then I was also like, no, we can't spend that kind of money. Money's got to go into brushes. Money's got to go into paper. Money's got to go into the book. And the missus decided to get it for me for Valentine's Day. So as soon as that second printing comes out, I'm going to be getting that book. That is amazing to me. But that's one of the things that goes into the kind of creative sauce, which is getting books and getting all of that other stuff and being inspired by things like that. Some of it is just sitting down and reconnecting with books, with people, with movies, with things that inspire you, or even more importantly, just going out for a walk. And that's the thing that I've been thinking about a lot today. I've been thinking a lot about how one of the things that makes me happy that sometimes is, and brings a lot of joy to my life is coming in here and spending time with you guys and making art. And sometimes I can think, oh, all right, well, if I paint this here, what can I paint on stream? And how do I work around this? Sometimes I just say, hey, man, you need it. You need to hang with your peeps and you need to stream. So just do it. Don't think about it. Just paint. Because at the end of the day, this is book 1 of many. Well, this is book 3 of Shanth Enjeti art books, but this is book 1 of an ongoing adventure that I started with a leap of faith out of a profession. And to be here right now with you guys and to see people, I don't know if he's still in the chat, but to see, let me tell you something about students real quick. All right, let's talk about students for a minute, former students. I do not have the greatest memory in the world, all right? But I have a pretty decent one. So when I see somebody in the chat go, hey, man, it's me. Now, I taught for 18 years. I've taught so many dang people. It is ridiculous. Most people have not had a lot of Shanths as a teacher, right? But I've had a few people with certain names. So the chance that a student is going to come into my stream and I'm going to remember and the guy's last name is Flynn would be highly unlikely. Or wouldn't it be? Because whenever I work, whenever I'm in this space, and whenever I'm doing my thing, I'm actually fairly engaged in it. I'm actually here with my fans. I'm actually here to do it. Hostman, it's good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Hostman Socrates or Socrates, depending on. It is great to see you. Let's see if I've missed anybody. Awesome. So you've got to come into that space. You've got to come in here and you've got to make this stuff happen, man. You've got to, get inspired. So here's the thing. I look at people and I look at the stuff that's going on right now. And I've been looking at the art of the Madballs artist, James Groman, who's been designing stuff in the toy industry for probably maybe 40 or 50 years now. This dude's amazing. This dude is a legend. I'm like, let me see more of that stuff. I look at people who've been doing this for a long time, like myself and others, but people who are not me are easier to be inspired by because, it'd be weird if I got totally inspired by myself. That would be kind of creepy. But I've been looking at all of this stuff and I've been saying, what can we do? So when Mrs. Enjeti and I were doing the show on Fridays, I said to myself, I've got to come up with something fun for this. I need to come up with like a little image, a little thumbnail thing so people know what it is and to make it more fun. And I've also got to figure out something we can do on this show that will be fun. And I don't know if we'll do it every week. And it just sort of came up with the idea. It was like, let's have her, do a comic book character. Here's the funny thing about that. I did not know. Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Much love, man. Much love. Teflon Ron, Shanth taught at RISD. Rini went to SCAD. Yes, that's right. Both of those are true. Yes, indeed. And hail Rini, wherever you are. This is the thing about it, too, which is when you're in the space and when you're making, this kind of work, the thing that's so... Damn, I lost my train of thought. Holy shit. Yes. So you got to look at stuff that is not your own stuff that gets you inspired. And so I think my brother Vaughn was in here recently and he said, do you have any art rivals? And I really thought about it. I was like going, do I have any art rivals? And the answer was no. I've got a ton of art inspiration, but I don't have a lot of rivals. My biggest rival is, the history of excellence in art. That's the thing I'm really trying to do. I'm trying to create something that people are going to look at and they're going to be really inspired by. Fucking light, man, it's driving me crazy. Sorry, folks, but I'm like, this is really annoying me. Hang on a second here. Let me move this. There we go. That's a little bit more focus right there. Let's see if we can get it to zero in. There we go. But it's interesting because I look at stuff like that. So this week I've been looking at James Groman a lot. His stuff is cool. He did all of the Mad Balls designs. He's done My Pet Monster was one of his designs. He did all this really cool stuff. And he's had a huge resurgence in his career. And the thing about it is, you will see artists come in and out of vogue. You will see styles come in and out of vogue. But the really great artists, they always have their fan base. And I guess that's the thing about it to me, which is I have this unique opportunity to spend time with you guys. It is something that has not been possible in any other generation, in any other time, for us to have almost a never-ending comic convention where you go to your table and there's people who can see you and watch you make this stuff, man. And I freaking love it, man. I love it, and I want to make sure I'm here, man. Yeah, good thing there isn't and Knox. That's absolutely right. Let's see here. You guys are killing me. Let's see. Yeah, likewise. Let's see here. John Rini admits Scad taught her. Taught her nothing. There you go. SOHC. I think you mean Jeff. I feel like oh man, I missed a ton here. Oh, I just went home. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. That would be weird if I. Oh man, that would be so strange if Rini was a former student. Yeah, that would be crazy. Although my first time I ever went on her show, and was that the last time I went on her show? Shit, I can't remember. She sent me a link because they were talking about art education. And one of the things I was saying is, is I said it's gone through such a change at this point. And one of the things I tried to do as an art professor was I tried to teach things that I thought that people wanted me to teach. And I thought that I knew the students wanted to learn because I was a student once. And the biggest problem with that was that that's actually not what art colleges themselves want to teach. They like to show case studies. They like the concept of people going to school and, paying them money to learn art. But when it comes to teaching skills, single overhead cam, gotcha. And this is the thing, right? Oh yeah, and you're so right about that. I got my first pro job the summer before I went off to art school. So I was doing pro work before. That's usually how it is. Yeah, they don't teach much in the way of skill, but I think it's more insidious than that, right? Is when you're looking at what you want to learn, you have to find the people who know it, and then you have to find the people and places that want to teach it. So if somebody comes into this space and they go, I want to buy hand-painted, Lovecraftian influence, adventure comics, and this is a spoiler, so apologies, with uplifting endings. They're not easy stories all the time, but they're not stories that leave you feeling hopeless. My stories are about beauty and hope because I put too much time into it, man. I put too much time into it to leave people crestfallen and going, why the hell did I read that? Like I said, I've seen too many horrendous things and then too many beautiful things and strong people coming out of those things to ever be able to pitch the the theater of alienation, so to speak. And that's not the God I pray to, and that's not what I believe in. So when I'm doing this kind of work, even though there's gore, even though there's horror, Peter Cushing's Van Helsing is going to come out on top, folks. Because this is in the Hammer tradition. This is what I love. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me catch up with the chat. Damn, I'm going slow today. Timmy Mello. Speaking of art schools, have you seen those draw box videos and lesson plans for free drawing classes? I'm impressed with the depth of content and time the instructor provides. Let me tell you something. Every teacher who's got skill spends so much time for... like I told somebody this one time, and they couldn't believe me. That to, like, how do I put it? Adjuncts, which is most of the faculty, make absolutely nothing. The people who do the best teaching tend to be adjuncts, almost at an alarming percent, because they've got skills. The people who get hired are people who don't have as many skills full-time in most cases. And I say this being former full-time, and I say this being someone who's been part-time for a very long time at one school and who was full-time for almost a decade at another school. These are things people have to know. You almost have to sneak in there, right? And that's the crazy thing. So, what is social media allowed for? What is streaming platforms allowed for? It's allowed for people to go and stream and to teach and to do whatever they feel like doing. Yes, the Gorgon's awesome, Neon Todd. And this is the thing I want to come back to. so that when you level the playing field, the best talent lives, they survive, right? So I'll give you a really good example. If you take any number of people who are taught to educate and elucidate on things and to inspire, but also to give skills, if you take any of some of my former colleagues, almost all of them, put them on YouTube and have them talk and teach, no one would show up. Right now, and thank you guys for hitting the like, by the way, there are more people in this stream than the cap on the class sizes I taught. So it was a huge class if I taught 22, 23 people. It was usually 15 or 16 or 17, right? These people couldn't draw a curtain, let alone an audience. So that's what we've got to do. We've got to make this stuff happen. Yeah, it's not that good, but it's, what's so funny is that late Hammer era had so many cool, crazy things in it, but it was crazy. I was just watching the whole documentary, Get Hammered, back Nosfero. I was just watching a documentary on Bray Studios and the closing of Bray, and Hammer's, the Hammer studio that was the old house where all their classics came from. And that's why I gotta say to people, man, keep your stuff small and intimate. Cast the biggest net you can cast. Ask everybody you can to come in here, like the stream, back it, drink Ovaltine, whatever fickles your tancy. But it's like, this is the thing I always come back to, man. It's you come back into this space and you build something you actually own. So when I taught at RISD, here's a really good example of this stuff. When I taught at RISD, and hail, Mike likes tacos. It's great to see. If I wasn't doing a brush mark right now, I'd put that on screen. The thing about it is that when I was teaching at RISD, I had the highest wait lists, and I took screen caps of it before I left because I'm that way. I wanted people to know. I had the highest wait lists of anybody in my department, and this was like when celebrities came to teach for a semester. Some of whom were friends of mine. They would have crazy numbers in their classes, and my numbers would always still be insane. Because word gets out that if you come to Shanth's classroom, you're going to learn something. He's going to teach you something. But everybody there goes, the reason why your students are successful is because it's RISD. Anybody could make their students successful. And I used to think, well, then why don't you, kids? Why don't you make your students more successful? Right? And so this is the thing about it. So then I went to a smaller college. And when I went to the smaller college, I was able to help students in the same way and able to get things done. And that doesn't win you any friends, again, surprisingly. And so the last bastion, in some ways, of putting yourself out there and doing this stuff is what you're seeing me do right now, which is, okay, maybe you could make it happen here, but that's because, we've got this classroom, we've got these students, and and we've got these degrees. No one's going to show up if you go out there and do it on your own, right? That's what they tell you. Right, believe me, the weight, you're not even kidding, KSSS, the weight is out of control. Mrs. Enjeti said to me, do you want to go for a walk today, hon? And I was like going, that's the sweetest way I've ever heard of, you got to lose some weight, kid. You got to lose some weight. Mike likes tacos. It is great to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Let's see here. Let's see what else we've got in the chat here. Cranberry Langers, channel member Cranberry Langers. It is great to see you, my brother. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. Now we're talking tacos. So, but this is the thing that's fascinating to me about it. And this is the thing that I'll always kind of come back around to, which is all this stuff doesn't matter, right? We were told that we needed conventions. We were told that we needed, all of these various things in order for us to be successful. That's what we were told, right? And they took over a lot of this stuff. People who wanted to cancel people wanted to remove people from the space. Or they suffocated them with a lack of work and everything else. And what we have been doing, I gotta take a look at this. There we go, there's a focus. What we have been doing as we do this work, and what we've been seeing as we do this work, is we actually never really needed them as much as they needed us. There are not a lot of hardworking people out there. There's not a lot of people who spend their hard-earned money on comics and entertainment. And when you insult them, and when you don't give them a space to go to, they will find another space. They are the more valuable people in terms of backing projects and in terms of supporting your business. They just want quality. And when you alienate the people who create the quality, the same thing's going to happen. They're going to leave and they're going to figure out, hey, the audience is coming with me because they're interested and what I was doing. It wasn't what you were doing. And I don't know if you guys know this about, or have this experience, but one of the things that amazes me is I've seen people switch pharmacies because their favorite pharmacist switches. I've seen people, go to a different medical practice or hospital because their doctor moves. People and their connections with one another are basically what everything is built on. Relationships. Everything real is built on those relationships. So when I'm writing a story, when I'm illustrating, when I'm doing all of this stuff, when I'm streaming, just to circle back to what I was talking about at the start of the stream, is that make sure you're doing everything you can, no matter how you feel in that day, no matter how tired you are when you wake up, that you're making time, or that you're overcoming whatever the things are that make it tough to put yourself out there, and just put your ass out there, Let's see here. I don't know this Jeff guy, but the more I hear about him, the more I don't like him. Okay, don't know who that is. Shanth, when you teach what people want to learn, you will always be in demand. That is very, very true. Teflon Ron, let's see here. If John leaves this chat, I'm gone. I love it, man. I love it. Oh my God, terrific. Oh my God, you're killing me. Oh my gosh. It's too funny. Holy shit. I love it, man. I freaking love it. So, oh man, we're hitting a serious milestone here today. I love it. So let me tell you this, guys. I have been noticing more and more that things are improving and things are going well. And the thing that is the most fun about all of this stuff is that right now we're in the beginning. I think we're in the end of the beginning and the beginning of the middle, which is to say structuring this stuff out and making this stuff have some kind of level of sustainability to it. The toughest part is to take something from zero and move it forward. Oh my God, Teflon Ron. Holy cow, man. Holy cow, Teflon Ron. Let me see. Super chat for $2. Thank you so much. And it says, here we go. Give Rumafe my wrench. She'd be a better wrench. Wait a second. What the heck is going on? Does Rumafe not have a wrench? What the heck? I did not know that. Let me see if I did something there. I think I did something there. I love it. And thank you so much, Teflon Ron. Simply Green. Noticing is dangerous, isn't it always? But let me see if I can get this here. Here you go. This is for Teflon Ron. Teflon Ron, thank you so much. Charge! Yeah, stuff's getting better. Stuff's getting better every day. We got a president. President Starkins. He's got a saying. Stuff's getting better. Stuff's getting better every day. The postman. Let me tell you something. If it was up to me, NBC would stand for nothing but Costner. Know that, folks. I love me some Kevin Costner. Love me some Kevin Costner. Hail Kevin Costner, wherever you are. I did a painting of him not long ago, man. And that was the fun thing about it. And when I sit down and I'm doing this stuff, we're living in this world of incredible opportunities in the field of escapism, in the realm of escapism. And for me, as I take a look at this stuff, I'm going, how do you make it so that when I paint something, fucking camera's driving me crazy. Hang on a second, guys. Oh my, jeez, member for 3 months and a thank you. Thank you for being a channel member for 3 months. I appreciate it. Where'd it go? Disappeared on me. There it is. There it is. You are very, very welcome. Very, very welcome. That's right, Waterworld. Yeah. Hey, listen, man. Waterworld has its moments. It has its moments. But yeah, I love me some Kevin Costner. Don't shoot on the open ocean, guys. That's what I would say. Never film a movie on the open ocean. It is not the way. All right, let me see here. Windows, camera effects. That's what I was looking for. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's do this. The brightness, I think, is fine, because that's not the camera I wanted. I want this camera. The brightness is out of hand. The temperature is out of hand. Let's warm it up a little bit. Warm it up, Chris. I'm about to. And the gamma is out of hand. Let's see if that helps any. Way, way better. Okay, now we're getting where we need to be getting. There we go. All right, so, but it's an interesting thing because Bubes, that's right, celebrates 4 months of membership. That's right. Thank you so much, my friend, and thank you for being a channel member. Stephen Rockwood, the first channel member. God, have we only been doing this for 4? Oh my God, Irma Faye, what are you doing? I'll get to that in a second. Postman is one of those guilty. I love the Postman. Simply Green, I got problems. I love the Postman so much. Irma Faye, oh my Lord. Money to celebrate. Also, thanks for always giving so many awesome art tips. You are very welcome. Holy cow. Oh, man, you guys are killing me. Charge! Okay, seriously, guys, what is happening? Is this an intervention of some kind? Lord Ravener has just become a channel member. Holy cow. You guys are killing me today. What are you doing? Oh my God, what is going on with you people? Yes, and 3 months with Cranberry Langers. You are amazing. Let's see here. I think it's a Waterworld or a series in that universe. You're right, would be good. First one was pretty boring though to me. Understood. Yeah, huge super chat, huge. That ain't cheap, as Eric July would say. Or Maffei, you're killing it. Oh my goodness. You know what? You're getting another cheerleader. Yeah, I mean, Rumafei, can we get you anything? Can we bring you waffles? Can we... Let me know. Let me know what you need, and I'll send a waitress right over to you. Let me tell you. Or an incredibly handsome waiter. Whatever fickles your tansy. We will take care of it. We will take care of it, man. Holy cow. Yeah, it's one of those things to where... Sean's unbirthday. Yes, you're not even kidding, man. The key word is May, Jeff. The key word is May. That's right, Teflon, a Ripa fan. There you go. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's craziness, man. Wow, yeah. You guys are, I tell people this all the time. If you are not in this space and you have not, if you have not experienced the support of the folks in this space, oh my Lord. You know, it's like, I know, it's like when I was going to conventions and I was, you know, a young kid who was like, I you know, had no one to talk about art with or any of that stuff. But when I was in that space, right, the thing about it for me was going to conventions were like a lifeline. Art teachers were like, comics aren't even real art in high school and things like that. I mean, it was what it was, right? You know, Crimea River, there are worse things, right? But it's like, when I'd go to conventions, people were so supportive, so cool. They would, you know, they were taking time to look at portfolios in some cases. Not everybody, but I remember saying to myself, when I get into that place where, you know, I get to, you know, talk about what I do, I'm always going to try to bring that enthusiasm to what I do. I'm always going to try to make sure I'm as positive as I can be, because those guys, sometimes they're a lifeline to you when you go to a convention, you know, and you're meeting your heroes. And I have been very, very fortunate in the fact that when I was young, the people that I met really brought so much passion to the table, man. They brought so much passion, and it's something I'm really grateful for. Aetherline, it is great to see you, my friend. How are you doing? I mostly liked Waterworld, but the villain was kind of meh. Yeah, I know. No offense to Dennis Hopper. Rest in peace, Dennis Hopper. Much love. It is great to see you in here. Setting Room of Faye. Yeah, a Bellini and Chip and Dale. That's exactly right. That's right. Mike likes tacos. I'm waiting. That's right. We got to make it happen, man. That's right. Thank you for remembering my Doge. You guys are amazing. So yeah, I mean, hang on a second here. What the? I'm a Sam Hill. Hang on. This is bothering me. There are things bothering me, folks. There are things bothering me. But you know, it's like, I remember watching like some of the early documentaries on conventions and on fans and all of that stuff. And I was thinking, like, hang on one sec, guys. This is going to be a little weird. So brace yourselves here. Hope I didn't give anybody a seizure or anything with that. But so this, I think the camera was had something on it, because it was just not. Yeah, there you go. That's a lot more in focus. It was not focusing as much as I wanted it to, and you could never tell, because sometimes I'm a dope and I'll put my thumb on the camera lens, and that happens, you know. But it's interesting because I would go, the only place I would actually see artwork was at conventions. It's the only place I would see original artwork I wanted to see. There weren't, comic art, there wasn't comic art in the museums in my town. And so I would go to these places, and it was just like getting a peek behind the curtain. And I always think if I could have been in a space where I could watch people paint, watch people make their artwork, it would just turbocharge my learning. And it would have turbocharged what I did. And so I always try to pay that stuff forward. I try to stream when I can. I try to show people the parts of the process that you don't typically see, where it's messy, where it's scribbly. It's not just like, the finishing aspect of it. Because I think it helps people to become a little less intimidated by this process. Do you know what I mean? And it's big, man. It's a big thing. It's Pokemon all over again. I gotta find the context for that. Oh, gotcha. I get you. I don't have your birth certificate, art times J Ryan. The keyword is yet. There you go. Right. Yeah. It's you can create stuff, and you can create work and you can create stuff in this space to where something that you don't even think people would want to watch. Sometimes it's just, it's amazing. People will show up for it. And so I always try to do my best to not, edit the things I'm doing and just to kind of go for it. But sometimes, like I was saying at the start of the stream, you're doing stuff for a while, and then you kind of psych yourself out a little bit, and you have to take a minute. Granted, getting sick does not help, but I was thinking just in general about how useful it can be to just, remind yourself every now and again and sort of touch base and say, all right, this is why we're here. This is what we're here to do. And it's we're here to paint, we're here to chat with people. We know how to do that. That's a reflex, right? Like, we know how to get... It's the weirdest thing in the world, right? Because you'll be talking to your kids about stuff like this. You talk to, and say, all right, like, here's how dating works. Here's how all this stuff works. And really, at the end of the day, it's just remembering that you're a human being who remembered how to talk before you met that person you were interested in. Like, that's it. It's that simple. And I always have to remind myself, sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I know how to paint, and I know how to talk about art, and I know how to, enjoy company with people. And it's a funny thing, man. It's a funny thing in this space, because if you start thinking about it too much, it's like, it's bad news. So yeah, it's great. And this is the other thing that I think is a big thing we see in this space, that while it is possible to talk and paint, guys, one thing that I can assure you is it is not really possible to lie and paint. So that's the thing about it. You have to be in a zone where you got to be real when you're doing this stuff, and you guys know it. People will spot it. I don't know how anybody would be able to make art and craft a persona at the same time. It's too much of a neural load on the brain there. Yep, a nod to friendships which formed there. Amen. Yeah, it depends on the placement of the apples, I suppose. There you go. Oh shit, laugh out loud. The infamous Waffle House. Yeah, there's lots of Waffle House lore here. I don't get modern art. Some joker nails bananas to a wall, and he's a genius. I glue apples to a toilet seat, and I'm a jerk. Exactly right. I don't know. I think it's unfair. It's unfair. Agreed. Yeah, he stylized it after the experiences in the art school of going to a Waffle House at all hours of the night. Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Well, here's the thing about it, Dracar Noir, am I right? There you go. Hear that, you'll have to get out of bed to paint. Yes, indeed. It's so true. So yeah, I mean, the thing about modern art is that modern art by its very design is anti-life. Modern art is about what's the word I'm looking for? Modern art is about basically seeing how far you can annoy the audience. And by that I don't mean the artist, because I think the artists in many ways are just useful idiots in that situation. But it's how much can the tastemakers put anti-aesthetic work that does not excite or inspire you in front of the audience and convince them that if you were smart enough, you would get it. And it's like a magic eye where there is no picture and everyone starts saying that they see it, and sooner or later you'll say, oh, I see it, just because you don't want to feel dumb. They're looking for those people. And when I'm doing my work and when you're in this space, we're very different. Because if somebody looks at this, they feel like they can, you can either take it or leave it. Here it is. Let's see here. And they can move on. I like classical art by current day artists. Yeah, absolutely right. While it's possible to paint and talk Shanth Enjeti art, I thank you for not having a 10,000 character name at the Art Times of Jay Ryan, who may be Canadian. There you go. Oh, just ignoring us. I feel better. Oh no, what's happening? So you're killing us a little bit. Let's see here. Modern art, money laundering mixed with, you're absolutely right, a bunch of useful idiot style chaser. My God, you guys are on it, man. The Emperor having no clothes. You're absolutely right. I can paint in the bathroom if I wanted. It'd be odd, though. That's true. Yeah. No, it's absolutely true. The Emperor having no clothes is 100% what it is. Yeah, modern art is about funneling. Modern art is about funneling dirty money. Basically, sometimes you get some cool stuff, but 15 million for a Pollock. Yeah, well, Pollock was a student of Thomas Hart Benton, and he wanted to be an illustrator and a representational artist, and he couldn't do it, and so he went into that, and he stole the style of a immigrant woman, came to this country named Janet Sobel, and she was a middle-aged mom. And she created this style of painting, and this is documented, and Clement Greenberg and Jackson Pollock saw it, and the art community didn't think that this middle-aged woman, immigrant, made a good mom who was married and had kids. They didn't think that she made a really good figure for the, politics and ideals they wanted to push. So when Jackson Pollock essentially lifted what she did, going from Thomas Hart Benton to that, they championed him, and she was kind of pushed to the back. Is this not a case, by the way, because his wife, Pollock's wife, was very much involved in this. This was not a case of, a woman being ignored by men or any of this stuff. It's worse than that. It's a story of a married family person not being allowed to be a genius in their world. They like people who are not like that. And she was not the right character they wanted to see succeed. And that will affect you in the fine arts, and that goes into academia too. Damn it, Jeff! What's up, Bullet Ninja Hagelman? It's great to see you, my friend. Yeah. Is this better? Is this better, Jeff? There you go. Those wily Canadians. Yeah. I miss the genuine. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. And so what people don't understand about this stuff is that when you know art history, you can meet these people on their own terms. You can meet these people on their own terms, and you could say, yeah, but what about Janet Sobel? Okay, sure. Well, Janet Sobel, obviously, it was because Jackson Pollock, a man, came into the scene. It's like, no, actually, though, it was the fine art world that actually ignored Janet Sobel. People knew she was there. Your greatest visionaries, people like Clement Greenberg and folks like that, who are the big critics of the time, while they liked to acknowledge her to attack Pollock later in life, they ignored her in the rise of Jackson Pollock. And so I always say to people is that they will use you regardless. That is their thing. They do not care what your background is. They'll use you all the same, right? It's a type of person. But the main thing you have to do is, if you have something of merit, go out there and do not let yourself feel like appealing to that crowd is going to make you feel better. It doesn't. It does not. Because they're chasing status. And if you're chasing wealth, like which you guys have seen that video I put out where I read that amazing Twitter thread where that guy talked about people playing status games versus wealth creation games. If you're interested in actually growing something, and wealth has a lot of different definitions, both financial but also making things you own, those status people are going to despise you. And people don't really root for you in that space. They don't want you to succeed because they're crabs in a bucket. And so what you see from the folks in this chat, my God, with your support, with your generosity, with backing the books, with supporting this channel, and thank you, Lord Raven, for becoming a channel member, by the way, much appreciated, is you see people who actually support you, who actually want to see art get made because our lives are better. I do not give a damn what Tom Cruise's spiritual beliefs are, as long as he doesn't push them on me. But by God, I want him making money so he can make awesome movies. Because that makes me feel better. I don't believe that as someone who buys a ticket by myself, or that if you gave me all that money, I'd be able to make Top Gun Maverick. Wouldn't be able to do it. He's an exceptional person with that skill. I need him to have the resources he needs. and I want to be a part of it. It's a simple reciprocity. It makes total sense. I give you money, you give me beauty. That's it. That's all art ever has been. Holy cow. What emojis does Shanth have? Yeah, guys, if you're a channel member, share those emojis that I have. You know, Claudette Colvin, there you go. Oh, what am I missing here? Nefarious, oh my god, look at all, God, I missed so much. Blue Boy, it is great to see you. Nefarious, it is great to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Let's see who else. Mike Like Tacos, are you saying that people are snobs? I'm gonna need to see some evidence. You know. You already know. Yeah. It's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Jiddu Krishnamurti. Holy cow, Simply Green. I've got a Jiddu Krishnamurti book over there, by the way. That is wild. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Jiddu Krishnamurti, a real interesting story there, too, as well. There are genuine people in this world. Amen. And they tend to hang out in the same places. Tom Cruise may have the secret of immortality. Laugh out loud. Dude never ages. Agreed. Yeah, what is this? How can I get more into what is faith if I can get the secret of immortality? Yeah, I mean, my God. But it's one of those things to where I watched him do this insane stunt for the upcoming Mission Impossible movie. And I mean, I'm a fan of seeing insanity. I'm a Jackie Chan fan. The dude jumps a motorcycle off of a cliff into a base jump, and they did 5 takes of it with Tom doing this. And the thing, I call him Tom. We're close. And the thing about it that was so insane about it is, or I loved, is before he went and did it, he said to the guy he was going to be doing a jump with out of a plane, he goes, "Don't be careful, be competent." And I went, damn, I love that. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Don't be careful, be competent. Holy cow, Nefarious, a new channel. I'm going to have to update those end credits after this stream. A new channel member, thank you for becoming a channel member. My goodness, you guys are amazing. Let me send some cheerleaders your way, and bow indeed. Charge! Legend, man. Legend. And thank you so much, Neff. I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate it. But I love that line. Don't be careful, be competent. Don't do what makes you happy, just like I'm chasing happiness. Do what makes you great. And that's what I love about this stuff, guys. It is no small thing to act, like, this is going to sound a little whatever, but it is what it is. It is no small thing that if you like fighters risking their lives and watching their fights, buy the fight, right? Pay for the fight. If you like an artist or movies or special effects people, pay for the movie. That's why I buy a lot of things on digital and Blu-ray, is because, one, I want to own them, but 2, I want to support the stuff I love. And because when it doesn't take a lot of people en masse supporting something that they want to see, bands know this all too well, in order for people for it to make a huge difference in funding, a huge difference. When you get to the point where you're doing a crowdfunder and you get to 6 figures, that is massive. If you can do that in a year over year, which is incredibly hard, that's a life-changing situation. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work, but that's a lot of individual customers and backers supporting you, and that's an incredible freaking thing, man. I don't know how people, like, I love the fact that Frank Frazetta could sell out a $200 art book with 6,000 copies that weighs, gosh, I think like 11 pounds or 14 pounds or something like that. I freaking love that, man. And that's the thing I love about art. I love how it just gets people excited about this stuff. And I'm going to paint the sexiest, coolest pulp in the world. Yeah, do what you're good at, indeed, man. Absolutely. And work hard on those skills, right? We just keep building it. You set a good example for us all, Lord Ravener. Absolutely right. Amen. I didn't know that he didn't want her with Bale. Interesting. Oh, yes. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, absolutely right. No doubt. Yeah, look at the slinging membership emojis. That's right. Yeah, you got to sling those membership emojis, man. You guys are amazing today, man. Holy cow. Yeah, making 6 figures on a book, especially in crowdfunding, is like accumulating years of goodwill. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That is one of my favorite comments of the stream today. You're absolutely right. It starts with people. People would ask me, like, why are your classes full? Why are people taking all these classes? I don't know. Maybe because I stay after class for 2 hours helping people lay out their portfolios, doing test run interviews with them, asking some of the hardest questions in the world, trying to trip them up so that when they got into the interview, they went, this isn't as hard as the interview that Shanth trained me for, This is a piece of cake, right? And let me just say this, channel member, Admiral Wackass, it is great to see you. In gymnastics or skateboarding, etc., you have to commit to do the trick. If you are careful, you will never improve. Life is inherently risky. You have to combine competence and courage. God, it's like wisdom is reigning in the chat. My God, you guys are amazing today. You guys are amazing. KSSS, I don't know what the reason was. It's similar to Henry Cavill not being allowed to shave his mustache for Justice League. Tom Cruise demanded it. I think it's just a power thing. There you go. Eric Huffles, it is great to see you. I bow to you, Eric Huffles. It is great to see you in the chat, my friend. Holy cow. You guys are great. Yeah, making six figures and OP delivers. I don't know what... Is that over... I don't know what OP stands for. Is it... And I don't know what that means. You're gonna have to help me out there. My reading comp is... Let me see. Yeah, Mrs. Enjeti would never go the extra mile for her students. Yeah, I know. Bow to Mrs. Enjeti. Yeah, she's a machine. That woman is amazing. You're absolutely right. Everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. I got wisdom too. Don't eat the yellow snow. Amen. That is absolutely true. Wisdom share. Yes, you guys do. You have a lot to share, man. You have a lot to share. Let me see here. And I know because I'm benefiting from it all the time. Overpowered. Got you. Got you. Overpowered? Maybe that's it. Let me see here. Whack-ass milk at the good stuff. There you go. You can make less than 6 figs, but constantly deliver. Oh, gotcha. And you'll build a chunk of goodwill, loyalty. Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, I mean, for me, honestly, guys, if you look at the number there for funding goal, it would have been brutal. It would have been brutal. Oh, original poster. I got you. Oh, original poster. The campaign creator in this case. Gotcha. Totally gotcha. Let's see here. I had wisdom, then got impacted and had to be removed. That's right. Oh, man, you just gave me a memory, man. You just gave me a memory. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Let me say this. I actually, they knocked me the heck out, right, for to have all my wisdom teeth removed, and I had such a poorly impacted tooth that I woke up during it and said, please stop. And the day after it, man, holy cow, I look like Popeye on this side of my face, man. It was swollen out to there. Like, my beard was coming in, and it looked like a balloon with a beard on that side, man. Oof. Yeah. Now, Mrs. Enjeti got her wisdom teeth removed, and it was a piece of cake, man. It was a piece of cake. So, sometimes, and I'm glad, I would frankly rather have it go well for her and bad for me than the opposite, because I hate to tell you folks this, but Mrs. Enjeti's tears are my kryptonite. So, there you go. I do not like seeing, I don't like seeing that woman in pain. It's not my bag, you know? It's not my bag. I was thinking of OP as in the fighting games. Overpowered. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Yeah, the dad jokes. You really should. The snow tasted awful. Chan culture slips in from time to time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I'm just, it's so funny because the amount of acronyms, I think I OA'd, which is to say over acronymed, being a teacher, because my God, there's nothing people in the education establishment like more than an acronym. So now that we're living in a world of acronyms, it's like, oh my gosh, my brain sometimes short circuits when I see them all. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that thing stand for? Oh my Lord, it is too funny. Yeah, there's all kinds of horror stories of parents experimenting with acronyms and it going horribly awry. Oh my gosh. Yeah, oh my God. I've read so many hilarious stories. You know how it is. You know how it goes. Jericho Green. Hail, brother. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Yeah, we're going to be cracking up and having some fun in between all the work, man. It's an interesting thing because I'm working on this and I'm tightening God almighty. And I'm tightening up the stuff I'm doing. It's crazy because the world is so rich. Actually, I'm going to spend some time down here a little bit because I love painting this stuff. Yeah, stupid teeth indeed, John. You ain't kidding, man. You ain't kidding. I don't mind a root canal because you got to get rid of them. My granddaddy worked in advertising and always said never use acronyms or industry jargon in ads. No, you're absolutely true, actually. Let's see here. OP delivers. Oh, basically, did the person make good on what they said they do? Oh, gotcha. Dear God, am I old, Simply Green? Simply Green, if I give you my address, can you come here and euthanize me? I swear. Guys, sometimes I'm like, what in the hell? I feel so old, man. It's bad enough I've got teenagers. I mean, if you want to feel old, that'll do the trick for you. But holy cow, man. Woof. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get like there needs to be a slang, list put out for us older folks every week or so we can keep up with these things. Because my kids come home with stuff, and I'm like, you are not allowed to have new slang so soon. You just taught me the other slang. What the heck is going on? Come on, folks. Come on, man. Come on, fella. My God. You learn something new every day, though. So that is part of the joy of living. As Matthew McConaughey would say, just keep living. That's what it's all about. Come on down to Kilgore. Take our shirts off. That's what it's all about. Let me see here. Oh, that is some old net culture. Oh my God, it's even worse than I thought, man. I feel way too old. Wait, euthanize? No, Shanth, no. Everyone here probably has frequent senior moments. You ain't kidding. Yeah, it's an interesting thing because the joy of being so old is you remembering watching the Oscar-nominated film Ski School. Let me tell you something. It's the greatest movie ever. I love that movie. We party big, we party here, we party now. That's what I say. If you want to be the best, you got to party with the best. It also has that great quote, if you want to be the best, you have to lose your mind. Never forget that, Johnny. If you want to be the best, you have to lose your mind. Remember it always. It also has Shakespeare read while Dean Cameron is on helium, and there's nothing better than that. Hail 40% Zed, how are you doing? Welcome to the chat this fine day. It's 49 degrees here in Rhode Island. Let me know where you live, and I'll tell you what the weather's like in your neck of the woods. All right. That's right. You gotta love it. Was Ski School the one with the weasel? No, Ski School came out in 1990, starring Dean Cameron. And it is a movie that was so impactful to my generation. Always Sunny in Philadelphia actually made an episode called The Gang Hits the Slopes with Dean Cameron in it, now bald and older, of course. God bless Dean. God bless his bald head. Playing the same character, and they go to the slopes, and it is nothing but nods to Ski School. That's all it is. If you've never seen Ski School, I don't know how that episode made any sense to you, but it is one of the all-time great cheesy TNA movies, for lack of a better way of putting it. It's incredible. It's a special kind of film. He says, what's one of my favorite lines I heard the other day? He goes, "You seem really tense, Reed. I think the caffeine and the crack is really hurting you." You gotta love it. It's good stuff. I was 3 in 1990. You missed it, but you're probably better off. Yeah, you're probably better off. Dean Cameron, Chainsaw from Summer School, for those of you guys who don't know, and the pizza delivery guy from Men at Work, if you've seen that movie. Another all-time great movie. You young whippersnappers and your color TV, says Simply Green. Absolutely right. Oh, the one where Dennis broke his legs or whatever. Yes, that was referencing another thing. But yeah, Dean Cameron, a.k.a. Oh, man, you guys are smart, man. That is a great movie, man. That is a great movie. I actually think less of the person saying, and he says anything slaps, no joke. That's right. I used to be with it. But then, yes, and I love that quote. Then they changed what it was. Now I'm with isn't it anymore. And what it seems scary. It'll happen to you. That's so true, man. Yeah, I mean, you see stuff, right? You see movies like that, and like I just wanted to have a good time, man. Like when I was a kid coming up, and we were such dorks. We were such glorious, silly dorks, but we had fun. And what was cool is that not only did we quote this movie, but I was telling my wife this the other day, but the girls that we hung out with also were a part of those in-jokes and things like that. We created our own little mini ski school, which is not a bad way to live. 30 people in here. Holy smokes, guys. Hit the like on here. Let's push on that algorithm. I know it's, it's considered a little tacky to ask for those kinds of things, but guys, if you don't know I'm tacky yet, you've come to the wrong place, man. Yeah, it's that movie had such a huge impact on me that the opener, which I'm now getting copyright claims for, as I should, because the musicians should be rewarded for their work, is Sold Me Down the River, I think it is, was what I used to open with the Gary Oldman opening on this channel. And that is from Ski School. That is why I put that as the opener. And yeah, it's good stuff. So I'm glad that I hope that me playing that song got some people to want to go and check out The Alarm, the band who created that song. Because yeah, I love that music. I can listen to it and it just totally inspires me. See, don't blame me, Jay Ryan. I can't stand his weirdo slang now. Oh my god, I don't know what that's about. Hail, 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 everybody. Literacy is a gift, Lord knows. I wish I had it. Referencing the other thing, YouTube, I am the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. One of my favorite lines. Oh my god, Major Pain this week on D. Well, okay, so, interesting. We will have some more news about this week, but something incredibly insane is going to be happening this week, and I will just leave it there. I will leave it there. I used to reference, well, I still reference Star Wars, Police Academy, and I do a lot of Arrested Development references. Shanghai Noon, love Shanghai Noon, The Office. I will tell you this, though. If you want to unlock my entire generation, the movie that we quote the most often, at least the guys I know, is Billy Madison. I've had entire conversation with guys where we're just quoting Billy Madison. I don't know what to say about that. It is what it is. When guys get together, sometimes we just quote movies at each other. And you guys know if you're in Double Impact, and some of our gals too, for that matter. What am I saying? We quote a lot of crazy things back at each other, and then our in-jokes have in-jokes, and it just gets nuts. The lore is real, and the lore is insane. There we go. And here's something fun that I love to do when I'm painting. For those of you guys, something big is coming. You're not kidding. Oh, it's Goodfellas, no contest, best lines in any movie. That's my Goodfellas laugh right there. Big things coming. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Yeah, Tropic Thunder almost got canceled because of these lefties. Yeah, I don't doubt it, man. It's just a masterpiece. Yeah, Goodfellas is the shit, man. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we quoted that like crazy. Shanth has an autistic level of memory for movie quotes. Yeah. What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? One of the best. What? Great movie. You two, hour-long conversations, entirely memes. Guys, it happens. We're going to try to start a charity at some point to try to help people suffering from memeopathy. It's a real thing. So, let's see here. All right, so let me show you guys one of the fun things that I like to do when I'm doing stonework. So you put highlights on, and then you get that there, and then drop in with a darker color. Drop in sort of almost like a core shadow right in there, and it'll really start to create that brickwork and that stonework effect. Right in there. There we go. And that's a big part of it. It's like a lot of simple tricks and nonsense. Not that I'm quoting a movie right now, but that's a huge part of what we do. Futurama has some great quotes too. Yeah, it's so important. I can't do that. I can memorize cartoon theme songs. There you go. Like no other. Listen, man, that is a big thing. Cartoon theme songs will get you there. You're a cartoon lyrical genius. That's absolutely right. I love cartoons, especially the classics. There you have it. For just a day, you can help the meme deprived. Yes, just for $1 a day. Yes, looks awesome. Thank you, Moss. Much appreciated. How are you doing? Let me see here. Hello, Moss Blackburn. For just 50 cents a day, you too can lie to yourself about making a difference. Oh my gosh, yeah, man. That's right in my wheelhouse, man. I used to do that. I used to do that when I was in school, and I was this like tiny little Indian, Austrian, Puerto Rican kid, and I would go up to people every now and again in the cafeteria, and I'd go, "For just 10 cents a day, you can feed this starving Indian child." And now I can't do that because no one's gonna look at me and say that man's starving. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. My goodness. Let's see here. Here we go. There we go. Lord. All right. So again, right, when you're seeing this stuff, hopefully, let me zoom in a little bit more here so I get a better angle on that. There we go. Hopefully you guys can sort of see what I'm doing here, the sort of method to the madness that goes into this detail. Because when you're looking at movies and you look at set design, there's this aspect to it that is all about creating that immaculate reality. And sets don't have to be wildly expensive, but they can't look cheap. And it's always amazing to see a master craftsperson who can do a lot with a little. There were tons of those working for Hammer Horror Films, and Hammer Films, I should say. And they were just geniuses at doing a lot with a little. Well, that's what we're in the business to do here. That's what Comicsgate is, right? We don't have massive corporations behind us. We've got a lot of individual backers and people who want to see beautiful art, and they're paying for the art that they want to see. And in many cases, the thing that's crazy about Comicsgate that I don't think, and the Iron Age in general, because I want to make sure I include the Iron Age too, because I think it's a great term for what we're doing, and because more is happening than just comics. You're seeing it in music, you're going to see it with movies and animation, you're going to see it everywhere. And RAZÖRFIST coined that term. I think it's a great term. You're going to see it certainly in fiction books more and more too, because that's one of the fiction is one of the hardest things to pull off, but in terms of overhead, it's your mind and your stuff. And if we could find authors who are doing incredible stuff like RAZÖRFIST and like James Lee and all those folks, then that's a big place to build it in the pulp landscape. But what we're doing essentially is we're trying to make something that's so beautiful that people can't deny us. Unassailable skills. I always used to say, build unassailable skills and you will go far. I sent Sally Struthers enough money for a cup of coffee, but Paco didn't seem to get food. Sally, on the other hand, I had to buy a new TV. Oh my God. Yes, ditto, more independent film artistry. Amen. Amen. Is Blackjack in here? My God, I looked down for a minute. Hail, Blackjack. It's great to see you. Damn, I'm really late today. No worries, man. That, and it could be a cancelable offense these days. Of course. Guys, folks, yes, it is. Mrs. Enjeti, I saw you from across the room. Do you want to go for a walk? Yes, it's totally true. It's totally true, man. It's totally true. If anybody's looking to be pleasantly surprised by animation and the storytelling, DreamWorks really went off making Puss in Boots The Last Wish. There you go. I have not seen that yet. Become undeniable. It's absolutely true. I'm awake now, but eventually I gotta eat, John. Yeah, I'm the same way. But yeah, man, I would say this, guys, is that when you're thinking about what you have to do, you've got a couple of budgetary things. Like, I've got time. So I'm only allowed to spend so much time on this comic book. It has to get done at a certain point. But let me be really clear about what I mean when I say that, because it's far more logistical. It's not because people are waiting for it, obviously. I'm not one of those people who's going to do a campaign and be like, peace, like there's some campaigns out there on Kickstarter I remember hearing about that were like 9 years old or something like that. And I thought, what do you even do at that point? Like, don't you just say bye? But what's interesting to me about it is that for however long I take on this book, we are stretching the money that we raised for this book further and further and further. So it has to get done. Like, it has to get done. And so the more quality and the more time, when we do things like we add extra pages to the book, it's screwing ourselves, is what it is. And we don't want to be, we've got to sort of say to ourselves, and granted, we do it because of the story and because of the book and because of all that stuff, and it's important to do. But yeah, like, it's, when I'm working as fast and methodically as I can while maintaining the quality. You have to do both, because we all know that when pumping out a horror movie for not a lot of money and it making a lot of money is great. Look at the Blair Witch Project, right? Doing a terrible job on the sequel kills the franchise, and that is not where you want to live. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't damage yourself too much. Don't worry, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I remember them so clearly from the 90s, but I liked them. Simply Green by saying hello, hello, hello now. Yeah, comfy hunger must be struck. Yes, exactly right. Yeah, and we do things where we say, excuse me, my wife and I do things where we say to ourselves, like, when's the last time we've been on a vacation? Like, when's the last time we've gone and done things like that, right? And we have to remind ourselves to do that, because, you got to go and even if it's not extravagant, you got to spend some time, like, just kind of relaxing. And both of us sometimes get into that zone where we work so hard, we forget to do those kinds of things. And I know a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. I know there's Nobody in this stream is probably a stranger to that particular phenomenon. However, you have to do it with an absolutely ironclad / Iron Age belief that it's going to something that is important, that's big, which is pushing back on anti-meritocracy and mediocrity, I should say, and seeing stuff that is not very good being thrown in people's face, and then having people tell them, hey, you're crazy for not liking this. This is a work of genius. People get sick of that after a while. So, but the hardest thing in the world is to create the alternative, because everybody knows there should be an alternative, but man, is it difficult to create an alternative. And so, that's what we've committed ourselves to, but we couldn't do it without you guys catching us, guys. There's no way we could make this stuff happen without you guys doing it. It's not possible. There are no, I'm trying to think of a good way to put it. There are no shortcuts to excellence. There's you've got your time and you've got your financial resources, and you have to stretch that, and you've got to make one of the best bits of advice I got when I was a teacher is make a $100 job look like a $1,000 job, and you'll be doing $1,000 jobs in no time. And it's true. Make it look as good as you possibly can. Standing desks back in my day it just jumped. Standing desks back in my day when we were learning to be artists, we gave in to bad posture and the horrible hunch because the art gods demanded it. Art is suffering. You're absolutely right. Hard work does not equal success, absolutely necessarily, but smart work is undeniable. Yeah, the world's kind of crazy that way because life has a way of telling you what you're supposed to be doing. It really does in terms of success. So if you're working hard at the wrong thing, you're not going to see success in it. And it's not about just the hard work. It's also about the skill, Anthony Gonzalez Clark, it is great to see you, my friend. What's up, Shanth Enjeti art? Check out my variant cover on, oh my gosh, congratulations, Graham Nolan's Joe Frankenstein Indiegogo campaign. Excuse me, can someone drop the link to that in the chat if you haven't already? Oh no, it is. Eric Huffles on it like a genius. Make it worth the effort. Back Shanth's Nosfero. Thank you, guys are incredible. Terrible job on just the sequel. The first Blair Witch was so terrible, and I was drinking at the time. Listen, are you, Shanth, are you Jelly Rini just got herself a standing desk? Oh, that's awesome. See, I'm lame as hell, guys. I literally read the words of the pun, are you jealous that Rini got herself have a standing desk? And my enthusiasm for somebody else getting something. You guys know me. I was a teacher for a lot of years. I'm a dad. I like when people get things. Oh, and I miss Julie Pascal. Let me make sure. Hey, Julie, how are you doing? It is great to see you here in the chat. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Lord knows, right? Lord knows. And that's what's cool, too, right? You learn a lot. You learn a lot when you spend time with people who are actually fans of being entertained, art, and aesthetics, which is what we really have going on here in CG and in the Iron Age. Because they don't go to things to be unentertained. They don't go to things to intellectualize them. They go to things to be transported. They go to things to be amazed and entertained. And, when I work, one of the things I haven't had for a little bit, because I gave it to my kids to use, was I didn't have a TV in my studio. Now, I usually work with movies playing because I like to just be surrounded by art. So I'll play like a Hammer horror film while I'm painting. And one of the things about that is that it's inspiring for me to be surrounded by artwork, but I don't look at artwork or films. I'm hoping to be excited. I'm hoping for things to go well. Now, that's the difference between us and, as Eric July says, and I do think it's a thing, bad actors who are there for things to fail. They buy things to hate it. They get things typically illegally to hate them. They make a small investment and a lot of criticism. And it's a very strange kind of thing because I would never spend my money repeatedly, or I would never spend my money in the hopes of being disappointed. It's a very weird way to be. Fiendish Chapter 2, guys, check it out. Hail Rini. And I hope Rini is doing well. Let me see here. Yeah, they absolutely are. Intellectualizing things is fun to me. Well, but see, you're talking about the joyful kind, which I agree with. I'm constantly encouraging Shanth to get healthy. I know, John, you're trying to save me. Hail Comicsgate, hail the Iron Age. So let's talk about this. We've all had conversations. Shoot, I could intellectualize ski school all day, right? But there's this kind of thing where we're basically nerding out, right? We're basically saying, oh my gosh, I love this thing so much. Like, I was listening to Ethan talking about The Killing Joke, one of his favorite comics. And he was saying, but then it turns out that this might have been the case, and this might have been the case. Why is he still talking about that? Because Brian Bolland's artwork on that book hit him in this very particular way that made it, just something he couldn't forget. Like, it was just a huge influence on him. I've got so many works like that. Like, I could just riff off of various things right now and, about films, right? It's a piece of cake, right? I mean, not a piece of cake, but it's something I love to do. So, by the way, how many of you guys have seen the movie The Matrix and put together that you should know Neo is the one, because Neo is an anagram for one. Neo. One. Huh. Seems right there. It's like there's so many things like that are so completely obvious, so completely on the nose. Once you see them, you go, oh my God, is it that obvious? Yes, there's a ton of stuff like that. There's so much stuff like that. It's crazy. So much stuff like that in The Matrix, too, for that matter. But, Star Wars has that stuff, too. How many of you guys have seen the movie The Phantom Menace? Star Wars The Phantom Menace. A lot of people know that. A lot of people know that song about the children singing at the end, where they're like, la, 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 la. You know the song, right? You guys know the song, right? For The Phantom Menace. And people go, oh, that's kind of cool. John Williams is a freaking genius, because if you slowed them down and dropped it a couple of octaves, what they would be saying is, oh, 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 oh. It's the Emperor's theme music the children are singing at a high pitch. Think about how sick that is. It makes the ending and The Phantom Menace so much more insane. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you, Stephen Rockwood drawing. Eric Morales said that to Manny Pacquiao once. He went, you're a great fighter, but please, don't sing. No, sing the whole song. My voice is about to fall apart. That's creepy. Yes, it is. You will never watch that ending song the same once you know that. You'll go, oh crap, the Emperor is up there smiling because he's just taken over and the kids are singing his theme song. That is some dark stuff. Just like the last line in The Phantom Menace is that Boss Nass character lifting up the thing and saying peace, and the first word in Revenge of the Sith in the opening crawl is war. That was sort of planned from the beginning. But there's all sorts of interesting stuff you see. It's like, what is that scar on Harry Potter's face about? We'll tell you at the end. I never read the Harry Potter books, but someone asked me when I was teaching, do you think that the Harry Potter novels will stand the test of time? And my simple answer to that was, if the scar on Harry Potter's face, his single biggest character trait, turns out to be the key of how the bad guy is defeated, or one of the keys, then the book series is great. If not, sort of like Chekhov's gun. If not, then it won't be. There you go. People were like contacting me after that came out, and they were like going, oh my God, how did you know? I didn't know. I mean, she's a great writer. She told us that. It's great. I didn't like the prequels, though. Better than the Disney trilogy. Yeah. I mean, guys, I think we can all agree that regardless of where you come down on the prequel trilogy, oh my goodness, the sequel trilogy. I watch The Matrix now and pretend it's Terminator 3 and Neo is John Carter. I like it. Yeah, that makes the franchise perfect. What? That's creepy. Yeah, there's some creepy stuff out there, guys. Yeah, there's some clever stuff, but this is the crazy thing. We're intellectualizing it. But at the end of the day, if I intellectualize and explain all these interesting little things about The Phantom Menace, and you still go, yeah, but I still don't like the movie, that is fine. Somebody can sit down and talk to you about how great a wine is, and you could go, yeah, but I don't drink. I don't like alcohol. I'm just not into it. Right? It's such a funny thing, because when people were crazy enough to dare to tell the audience, you have to like this because it's good and I say so, that is a very weird thing. You did not go to a vegetarian Hindustani Indian and say, this is a great steak, you have to eat it. You'll love it. It's like, I don't think I'm gonna. Now, I'm not a vegetarian. Whatever I have for dinner had parents. I can tell you that right now. But this is the thing, is that when you think about this kind of stuff, and you look at the way that people approach this stuff, all you're doing is approaching the audience without contempt. I'm like, do you like action, adventure, a little bit of sexiness, you know, some boobs, some blood, some drama, and my favorite bit, some romance? Welcome. You know what I mean? To me, there's an aspect of Hammer horror movies, and there's an aspect to this that is always going to be, and I think there's this book series, or this that's now a Netflix show, I think, called Outlander, and man, that author, she is good. I haven't seen it, but I heard the pitch for it for the time travel shit. That woman is a genius. That's the coolest idea I've heard for time travel, and I know someone's going to steal it for like a Marvel movie or something. But it's a total classic bodice ripper. That's what this stuff is, man. That's what it is. Yeah, Lost Skeleton of Cadavra, and that has deep lore. Futurama's got tons of complexity. Oh, I don't even doubt it. Yeah. A lady whose name I forgot claimed Hollywood stole her story and made it into 2 franchises. Yes, that's right. Oh God, what was her name? Sophie something. I forget her last name, but yeah, I remember that. Not sure you'd like them or not. They are industrial. Well, it's explained to me well enough. I can find the value. There you go. John, oh wow, never heard that band. Death, Death, Death by Joe Ball. Check it out. Hail, Joe Ball. The prequels were the worst thing ever until the sequels came out, says Lord Ravener. I know. Yeah. Love the prequels, even Jar Jar, Eric Huffles. Yeah, you're all welcome here, folks. That's just the way it is. Oh shit, yeah, crap, definitely cool. There you go. Marvel movies, time travel didn't make sense. Yeah, time travel's a tricky thing to bring into anything, whether it's Star Trek or anything else, man. It's like, it's really tricky stuff to do. And they had just a unexplained, really cool, magical component to it that involved basically a Stonehenge-like structure. And it just, the way that time works, the author was just interested in seeing if she could, much like what Tolkien did. I swear, can we talk about these writer geniuses real quick? Because I don't think they get enough credit. Or at least there's not enough complexity to the credit that they get. J.R.R. Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings because he wanted to see if he could write a massive story, an incredibly long story. And this is his quote. I mean, he said this on BBC Authors in Their Own Words. He said, I wanted to write a fabulously long story to see if I could maintain audience interest in that big of a story. That is a hell of a thing to do. It's a very intellectual exercise that yielded poetry. The author of Outlander, I forget what she did. I don't think she was a history teacher. She might have been a history teacher. And the reason she did a time travel book is because she wanted to try writing fiction, and there were 2 eras of history she had very detailed knowledge of, and she wanted to write about them both. That's why she put time travel in. That kind of genius inspires the hell out of me, man. I love that stuff. I love when somebody has a problem to solve and they just attack it creatively. You know, and that's it. That's what I'm doing with Nosfero. I wanted to create deep lore, and this is the start of it, for good, that could rival, that's the attempt, that could rival the deep lore for evil and horror that Lovecraft did. What if you could do something to where there was almost this transcendent, sublime quality to how you portrayed good, that it was almost like horrifying in its intensity, that kind of level. That would be worth doing, and that's what it's all about. Heck yeah, I'm bending my mind around that at the moment for my stories. There you go. That was a great interview. Yeah, that was Authors in Their Own Words is so great. You may like them. Okay, cool. All right, just making sure I'm catching up with the chat here. Time travel is simple in Star Trek. Slingshot around the sun at warp speed. Boom, time travel. Loved that movie too, by the way. And the show, by the way. I loved that interview. I'm a Tolkien geek. Yes. And there's an amazing new... Yeah, such good stuff. There's an amazing new Lord of the Rings collection hardcover. It's like $100 and something bucks, $120. But it is, it's got like all of this, like all the books, all these detailed things. It's like a lovely, lovely copy. So for you Lord of the Rings fans, if you're looking to buy something and you've got the scratch for it, do it, man. Let's see. I'm almost always hate time travel stories. Too often it's done in a way that is stupid or requires characters to be stupid. Amen. Yeah. When it's bad, it's bad. When it's bad, it's bad. I won't throw this movie under the bus, although I hate this director with the passion of 1,000 burning suns. But a guy did a time travel movie that contradicted itself in the movie so obviously that like you couldn't unsee it. It was crazy. Edgar Rice Burroughs failed at every job he had. He was reading pulp sci-fi and attempted to write a story that he thought would be a flop. He failed at failing and wrote the first John Carter story. Yes, The Princess of Mars. Big fan of that story and the artwork for it. I also like Carson of Venus. A really great story. Love it. That's cool. Good afternoon, everybody. There you go. Ciao. All right. Take care, my friend, Cranberry Langers. Much love. I must read the Barzoom series. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really cool. And so many artists have contributed so much great artwork there. Hey, Plush. And it's great to see you, Plush. By the way, it is great to see you, my friend. And take care, channel member Cranberry Langers. Spin around the earth multiple times, and that's how you do time travel, according to Superman. I was watching that the other day. That's so crazy you bring that up, man. I love it. Yeah, I had a song I like, John Carter, a.k.a. Proto-Superman. Yeah. Doc Savage and John Carter, man. When I found out that Doc Savage's first name was Clark, as in Clark Savage, I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Like, there's so much. And he had a Fortress of Solitude at the North Pole. And it's like, or was it the North Pole, or was it, actually, I'm not sure which one it was. Don't want to get my poles confused. But that sounded worse than I wanted it to. But this is the thing, is that, yeah, there's everything is kind of born out of pulp, and everything is kind of born out of fiction. Comics owe such a deep debt of gratitude to pulp. And I really do think that one of the places where you're going to have, and Ethan had what is the name of the author, guys, that Ethan had on his show? I know you guys know him. Who's writing the fantasy science fiction thing. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. This is so annoying. And he was a part of the whole Sad Puppies thing, and the what's it called? Dang it. My brain has got to be my brain's falling apart. Oh my god, I can totally see the guy, and I cannot remember his name. What the hell was his name? Shanth didn't find the hot tub time. I did find the hot tub time machine believable. Absolutely. I'm a big John Carter fan and didn't hate the Disney film either. There. I said, seriously, my wife actually liked that movie, although I have my suspicions about why that was. Let's see here. Shanth, you're not talking about Looper, are you? Because Looper was a bit... No comment, but yeah. Let's see here, Fox. Yeah. Fox, there you go. What's up, MC? How are you doing? It's great to see you. Let me make sure I got everybody here and said hello. Let's see here. Yeah. Larry Correa. That's it. Larry Correa. Or Correa, sorry. He is, when he was talking about his mentality of writing his stories and then connecting with your fan base and realizing that you can, you can support yourself on a fan base, even as people try to cancel you, say terrible things about you or whatever, which is going to happen if you do anything successful. It's going to happen. The belief that everyone's going to love you if you're successful would be one of the weirdest delusions I think a person could have. But you should absolutely know, I know Anna was quoting Wolf of Wall Street one time, and she said, pay attention to the people who don't applaud when you win. I agree with that. The other thing about it I would say is pay attention to the people who do applaud, when you win as well. Because those people are gold, man. Those people are gold. And I thank all of you guys for being here for one of my crazy, painting and rambling. Yeah, Larry Correa had to look it up. Yes, great author in terms of how he articulates what he was doing, and really smart on all of this stuff. And we need more smart people around us who are articulating this stuff. Cool, glad you like them. One of my favorite bands. If you want to bend your mind, their double albums, War and Peace, which came out in mid-2019. Yeah, probably were prophetic. I don't doubt it. Yeah, I appreciate the Disney John Carter film for introducing me to Barzoom, and it was fun. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, yeah. I mean, look, if our job is to get people into this space and get them excited, my attitude is I want people to become, channel members. I want people to subscribe to this channel. I want people to get excited about Shanth Enjeti art by hook or by crook. And that requires me to do a tremendous amount of work promoting and streaming and all that stuff. But it also requires me to know, to be able to spot people who are not here for the best intentions. You know what I mean? And that's very few times you're going to see it. But when you see them, as with Eric July, as with Ethan, after a certain point, you start to sort of say, okay, I have a responsibility with the folks who come in here to have a positive time. And I mean positive time, just have an honest time, to not get distracted by all this stupidity. And that's what we do, man. We try to stay focused. And while people are throwing stuff at you, just keep rocking. I've got great people around me, man, and I'm talking about you folks in the chat. I've got some great people around me who care. It is not something that I ever take lightly. And I've got some amazing backers who are going to get an absolutely astounding book. A beautiful book. And as I can see every page right now, in various stages of process, but in terms of the last pages, or not the lost pages, which Lost Pages 3 is out right now. The link is in the description. But when I look at those pages, I am so proud because I'm delivering on the promise. I'm delivering on the promise of this book, which is I'm going to make something that's beautiful, that's captivating, and that's going to be something that you just say, this is artistically beautiful. Like, wow. It might even be artistically beautiful. Honestly, I think the case could easily be made. But while I'm painting and I'm putting these stones in here and putting this work in, you guys are seeing this stuff come together in real time. Michael X Tacos, I have the worst intentions. Yeah, absolutely. That's why we love you, though. Yeah, dispel that illusion. Yeah. I knew it couldn't be Vox, but that was the only thing. Well, yeah, and I mean, I do still think that there's a lot to be said for that book. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the Lost Page. Thank you, our couples. Much appreciated. Yeah. But it's yeah, the book about SJWs Always Lie, that is a great book. I think if there are a lot of people who probably would have fared better during their cancellation if they had read that book. I watched a woman, and it's not hard to find out who she is. You could look it up. But I watched a woman in the knitting community who had been all in, of course, on, diversity and trying to help people and platform people and promote herself, get destroyed by people she helped who she thought were her friends. And that's why I say you can't take people who are not there with honest intentions. When it's your livelihood and you're out on your own, like I am, and a lot of your indie creators are, you cannot take people coming in to screw with your money and throw shade lightly. You can't do it. Too much depends on it. Too much depends on it. I will not let people screw around in my space and use it as a platform for horseshit. They can try, that's fine. I mean, it's not even that big of a platform yet, but I'm sure, if it does, that's what's going to happen. It's not a platform. It's shit I do. It's my work. It's my job. It's just like running a business. If you have people who come into your restaurant who don't buy anything and annoy your customers, get them the fuck out of there. It's that simple. And that's the thing about it. For too long, we gave people in these spaces the benefit of the doubt that they were there for good reasons. The same thing happened, like when people ask, like, oh, why aren't you teaching anymore? The same thing happened at colleges. The same thing. There were so many people who were just like, let's just give everybody the benefit of the doubt. When you've got that many people coming in who you don't know, coming from different backgrounds, you're going to get students canceling each other, destroying each other's lives, going after professors, trying to ruin their lives and their reputations. And the biggest mistake you could make is to not call it out from the jump. And I mean, like, not point it out. Let's not use call out, because call out culture to me is horseshit anyway. But it's like, it's you have to point it out. Yes, you reserve your right to refuse service to anyone. Again, if you mess with my customers, we're not in here to talk. Like, when I come out here to do work, it's not a stage for weirdos to play out their psychodramas. If they want to do that, they can build their own channel. It's a free-ish country. Go build your own channel. Go do that and see if anybody shows up. But it is a mistake to think that for anyone to teach other people that they are entitled to go in and ruin everybody's good time. That's it. Like, you cannot... God, I sound like Tom Cruise there freaking out. That is it, guys. That is it. But it's a crazy thing, and we did that in comics. It's like, guess what? Make a comic that sells. I don't care what it's about, and no one in comics ever did. The moment people were allowed to come into the comic industry, and the industry itself allowed them to attack the fan base and call them awful, they drove people out. They are insane. Yeah, the knitting community is such a hilarious... Dude, you don't even know. My wife got into knitting, and she was about that. Still have MySpace. There you go. For some of us, weaving a story is easy. That's exactly right. Yeah, I think he was Sad Puppies too. There you go. Yeah, Larry was Sad Puppies. There you go. Yeah. And that was, yeah, I mean, it's, you look at this kind of stuff and you go, why are people so disgusting, do stuff like that, no morals, just a pack of wild dogs? I will tell you why. It's because they're narcissists and they want meritless attention. And it is such hard work to paint 33 pages to illustrate or pen and ink, and have, then pay someone to color X amount of pages or whatever it is, whatever people are doing. It is a ton of work. It's tough to go out there and talk and promote yourself. And it is so much easier to just walk into an already successful thing, whether it's Disney or anything else, and see it as your stage, even though you didn't build the stage and you haven't been entertaining people. It's there. Why do people go to comedy clubs to how do I word this? Just to heckle and try to bring comedians down, or just to disrupt the show? Why do people go to concerts to try to attack somebody on stage? I do not know, but they exist. That's what they're about. There is something nuts. MySpace was never actually shut down. Is because it would cost more than just to leave it up. I don't know how true that is. Yeah, it's like the Funko Pop situation right now. First they came for the knitters. You ain't kidding, man. Yeah, top 8, here we come. I don't know if they're always going to break the law, especially when they feel they will not get. Yes, exactly. It's like, why don't you come out there and actually say who you are and put your reputation on the line? They don't want to do that. They just don't want to do that. Now, if you want to be anonymous and talk about the things you like and all that stuff, that's great. But the second somebody's anonymously trying to pull somebody down, you've got to take issue with that. Like, you got to say to yourself, like, why is this person like? No. It's like you're being an asshole. It's that simple. Like, you're just trying to wreck a situation that people who are actually working hard and invested in, put a lot of time into. And I think that the science fiction community, that community, or I should say, because God, they've ruined so many words, but let's call it what it was. It was a community. It allowed itself to be colonized by these people. Then comics allowed themselves to be colonized by these people. What happened? They pulled the whole thing down and left it in rubble because that was their aim from the beginning. So when somebody comes up to me and says, I'm just trying to help you out, man, my first response is going to be, what do you know about me that you're helping me with any kind of specific thing? It's like a doctor diagnosing you who's never met you before, right? Or who's met you once. It's a little bit more work involved. And the more complicated, the more skilled a person gets, the more complicated it gets. Like, the difficult it is to find sources who can give you an actual critique outside of, move that to the left, right? Because that's not what it's about. There's so much more in it, John, well, I guess see what John's laughing at. Jag's jokes make me physically cringe even if I laugh. That's right. Yeah, the people who don't applaud when you win probably tell you how to keep improving. You're absolutely right. Yeah, and they'll move that needle forever. I have a knitting-based dream. I want to go pro. That's right. Dude, you have no idea. It was so crazy. When I was a teenager and worked F&B, I noticed how some customers treated, the wait staff, and realized they must be low in their job and are just flexing because they're schmucks. All kinds I've found. If the damage for me being an asshole were purely reputational, you may have a point. But these days, it's existential in some cases. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But this is the thing, right? If you've got if you're good at your profession, right? If you're a good doctor, or you're good whatever, it's awful to have your income attacked because somebody slanders you or whatever, right? But the bigger problem is people don't know that you're a good doctor now, and we need good doctors. Like, this is the thing people don't realize. When you got somebody like, and my favorite case of it because it was so obvious, when you've got somebody like AH, and I think you guys can guess who I mean, and then somebody like Depp gets thrown under the bus by her, not only is she never going to make anybody money, and not only did she get her career because of him interceding on her behalf, but you basically are losing the opportunity to get more great work from this artist who's not going to be with us forever. And, the idea that, that people don't realize you're depriving the rest of the world of people's talents when you destroy them. It's the simplest thing in the world. It is, and it's, I don't know what it's going to take sometimes for people to really realize that we should be disgusted by this stuff. And I think we're actually, what am I saying? I think we're getting there very quickly. I think the pendulum is swinging. I think people see all of this stuff is terrible, and I think people with a long paper trail, no matter how hard they try to hide it under aliases, people with a long paper trail of destroying people's lives, it's going to come out and it's going to be with you. It just is. And it's going to be based on your actions, not based on your slander. It's not the same thing. And so, yeah, I think it's a crazy thing. You know, it's like I think about all the time how many great artists we have that, like, J.K. Rowling is a really great example, who they will never stop trying to do this. Once they've started laying into her, they're never going to stop, man. Yep. Yep. But that's not how you spell myth. That's right. It's a myth. Yep. Yeah, I mean, and you think about this stuff too, right? Oh, I love Adam Hughes. Adam was always very nice to me. I identify as a good doctor. That's my truth. You ain't kidding, man. That's the world we're living in. Yeah, and it's I value merit. When is the last time, like, if you had something medically wrong with you, right, and someone's like, this is the best brain surgeon, and they have this track record of just saving people's lives, this incredible reputation, would you care anything about their background? Would you go, well, what's their ethnic background? What sex are they? You know, like, that's never going to happen. That does not happen when you're on an operating table or when you're in an emergency room. These people are broken. And it's because they started with the arts and they started this stuff with postmodernism, that's where all this stuff comes from, that quality is relative, that wouldn't it be cool if we looked at quality as having nothing to do with quality. It is so strange that they started to erode our reason. We know a good book when we see it. Great works of fiction are great works of fiction. But do you get taught great works of fiction in school these days? In most schools, you're going to spend 5 weeks on The Catcher in the Rye and 5 weeks on The Lord of the Flies. 2 completely nihilistic books written around the exact same time that are about the lie and the pointlessness of society. And it is so bizarre that we don't have that kind of time for the Greek myths or Shakespeare or even any of the religious traditions and their important stories. It is bananas to me. You know, it is bananas. I will never understand it, and I think we can absolutely work against it by creating great work that references all of that stuff, but also points people to that stuff. The people in the chat recommend books all the dang time. There are people who are assholes I respect because, yes, their criticism is harsh but fair. Removing them from society is a bigger issue to me. Yes. Yeah, no one... How do I put this? Yeah, because I want to make sure I'm really clear about that. I love people who are great assholes and great at criticism. What I'm talking about is a type of criticism that is really a demented fixation on an individual whose life you're trying to destroy. So you don't hate their work, and you can always tell they attack the person. Eventually, they're going to just go after the person. They'll stop talking about the art. Like, if the art is, or the tweet, they really hate the person. Nobody's, criticism is criticism. I'll give you a really good example. What Chris Rock said at the Oscars was him doing his job. Somebody going up and attacking him, like physically on stage, is what I'm talking about. Where it's like, this ain't about him, man. You could talk to him, you could answer him with what he's talking to you about, but holy cow, that's what it is. Yeah, don't make me guess you. That's right. And those ones are good at what they do. Yeah, they are. And by the way, they're fun. They're fantastic. I heard tell they have a bunch of equity hires for air. Oh no, God, I can't. Yeah, most people's shitty actions are because they think they are coming from a place of moral superiority. That's the other thing. Yeah, they have minor disagreements and things like verbiage, use it to demonize an outgroup. Yeah, and it's just it's an interesting way to spend your time. Like, some people are good at criticism to the point to where a lot of people want to watch them. Critical Drinker, great example. RAZÖRFIST, great example. Both of them also create, interestingly enough. But when you watch somebody who is so married to their shtick and they get their head, so up into criticism, you see what happens with a certain YouTube personality who I actually used to enjoy, who lost his mind because that was all there was to him. He just got called out on one thing by Nick Rekieta and he went nuts. That is the difference. You gotta be based in every meaning of that word. Absolutely gotta be based. Yeah, I mean, I'm not an asshole. I'm the whole ass. That's how I see it. Jared, guys, yeah, that's a really good example. I do a show with Jericho Green. He's the ultimate at this stuff, but it comes from a place where it's built on something. It's built on experience. It's built on character. That's what it is. Envy is the root cause of one of them. The other one is something special, like stand-up comics, man. Yeah, keep the chat's name out. You know, like, that was so embarrassing, man, watching that. It's ruined me listening to Summertime. It's crazy. Will the Lord of the Flies be popping up its ugly head in Nosfero? No, absolutely not. Yeah, we're not doing it. You know, no one's going to be carrying a copy of The Catcher in the Rye either, by the way. Hail indeed, 40% Zed. On the inverse, I've dealt with some truly morally bankrupt people who speak in saccharine terms. Yeah, I mean, I will. Yeah, sad that. I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. You guys are too sharp for me, man. You guys are too sharp. I can't get anything past you guys, man. I can't get anything past you guys. But here's the crazy thing, and I gotta talk about this. This is a big thing. Everybody should have an equal opportunity to do what they're going to do and talk about what they're going to talk about. But the right for, like, if you want to open your own restaurant, that is fine. You know, do it. If you don't want to eat at this restaurant, it's fine. If you want to talk smack about this restaurant, it's fine. But if you're going to go into that restaurant every day and talk about how awful it is while not eating there and, like, harass people trying to do their job, get out. That's all it comes down to. When a comedian's up on stage, they're doing their job. When a YouTuber's doing this, they're doing their job. Of course, people are going to make jokes and my God, guys. I was a teacher for 18 years. I worked in the no, I didn't work in the inner city for 18 years. Feel me? The amount of times you walk into a room and you have college students looking at you and going, you know, I think he's kind of this, that, or like, oh, that's weird, like, or that's like, you're always out there. You have to have thick skin to do it. You just got to have thick skin to do it. You know, I think that, yeah, the chat is hilarious too. Like, that's the other aspect of this. You know what I mean? It's a very bizarre thing, man. I'm vicious. I gotta see it now. Will Smith shouldn't have slapped Chris Rock. Still, it was. Oh man, brutal. Jeez. Yeah, didn't go. He just. Yeah. 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 No, I don't have. Yeah, I have nothing to say on it. I mean, like, for me, I look at it and I just go, how do I put this? I see what you're saying, but here's what I'd say. When stuff happens and stuff is going to happen, I do not judge any person, like that particular individual, for you know, finding himself in a situation where he got caught out in a mistake and whatever, and kind of spiraled because he couldn't, what's it called, smartest guy in the room syndrome or whatever. It's very tough. When you're a teacher, it's even harder, particularly a college professor, because you can get so caught up in that whole thing that you think like, oh, you know, I think, you know, I'm the smartest person there. If you can't laugh at yourself, you are in for a rough time teaching. I remember I had a former student who was a popular illustrator and had a big fan following, came in to teach, and he just panicked when he was in there. And he's like, what do I do? They're just like looking at me. Like, how do you do this? This is insane. And he was a successful dude. And I said to him, I go, here's the secret. It's not about you. Stop thinking about what they're thinking about you and do the job. Teach what you know. It's not about you. When you're saying something funny, when you're entertaining people, it's not about how funny you look, how skilled you look. You're doing the job. All of that stuff, if it's there, will take care of itself. And when you're YouTubing, it is the same thing. If you can laugh at yourself, it will take you far. And when you need to take a break because you're burnt out, just take a break and get away from it. You don't have to tweet your way through a nervous breakdown. You don't have to YouTube your way through a nervous breakdown. Don't do it. Fight that urge. Fight that urge, you know? Let me see. Oh, my Lord. I get vicious, yeah. Yeah, he took it out on Chris Rock because he couldn't slap Tupac. It was tough. I know. I laugh at yourselves all the time, dude. I totally do, too. I know what you mean. Mrs. Like, can you imagine being in a marriage where you can't laugh at yourself, where your spouse can't laugh at you without you freaking out, where you can't delight in the ludicrousness that is the people that you roll with? Like, the people who have the most leeway for jokes with me are some of the people who are closest to me. right? Like, everybody has however much leeway they want. What's the old Southernism that I love? You wouldn't worry what people thought of you if you realized how seldom they did. I think about that all the time. That's why I just don't worry. I think most people don't give a damn that I exist on the planet at all. However, I do think that it can be a very tough that's right. I do think that it can be a hickory dickory dock. My wife avoided. That was stop it, you degenerate. Oh my god, I love you degenerates. Oh my god, it's too funny, but it's a crazy thing because I look at this stuff and I just go, if somebody, I'll give you, this is like when people talk about gatekeeping and all this shit, I don't have any problems with Marvel Comics lore or canon because I'm not an expert in it. I know a lot, but I'm not an expert. So I don't weigh in on characters I've never followed, on storylines that I've never been invested in, and pretend that I do or pretend that it doesn't matter, because if it doesn't matter to me, why am I putting energy into it? That to me is the easiest thing in the world. When people come into CG and they don't even know, always happy to do that, by the way. But when people come into CG and they don't even know what anybody has done here, and it's like you just go, look, man, just take a second and acclimate. That's it. I mean, you can say whatever you want to say, but don't be surprised if our chat has things to say in response, right? It's like, I don't know what's going on with other creators. If people ask, this is, again, another great skill to have when you're a teacher. When somebody asks you something you don't know anything about, just say, I don't know. Just say, I don't know. People will respect you more from saying, I don't know. Like, I try not to give people an answer just to have an answer. And it's a useless skill to pretend and fake like you know something about something. It's you can't. I don't know a lot about a lot of things. It is what it is. Funny but inappropriate comment. It was beautiful too. I'm curious, what's the next page you're painting, Shanth? I want to show you the page. You guys have no idea. Okay, hang on a second here. Let me just show you. So the last two pages I'm working on are they're the last two pages. One of them is the final single image page, and the other one is Nosfero taking off his mask. And like, I'm working on all of these simultaneously, and those are the ones I think what I'm gonna have to do is, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but when I get to working on those pages, I'm gonna really have to tape over them or something, like cover up the stuff you guys can't see, because I gotta keep streaming. But it's, oh man, it's I cannot wait to show you guys this stuff. Yeah, exactly, don't lie. I mean, Jordan Peterson had it with the 12 rules for life, guys. That's basically what I go by. Did you cringe yourself out of bed yet? There you go. I do it, Jeff. Yeah. Where is it? Oh yeah, so yeah, that's the next page I'm working on, and I want to show it to you guys. It is right here. I have it right out of camera range, but I also have a page in front of it just in case something moves. But it's like, yes, I desperately want to show you guys this stuff. It is so cool. Yeah, when the mask comes off, it's for a very important part in the story. Yeah, takes off his mask and it's John Malin. Yeah, no, it totally is. It's Coach. Well, actually, I already got a character named after Coach. If people don't know, that was a Zachism from when he did live streams. Which one was the live stream? Zachisms? Oh, funny but inappropriate comment. Gotcha. Old school. Yeah, I will say. So here's another thing. If someone goes, what did you think about when your boy Zach was started? I didn't start watching your boy Zach until after I found Ethan, and he was already more or less getting off of Twitter and live streams and all that stuff at that point. So I go back with the Fandom Menace, and then that's how I kind of found CG, and that's what, sort of led to everything there. So yeah, Arise. There you go. Yeah, I can't wait for it too. I cannot wait. Guys, I want to show you this stuff so bad. I don't care about spoilers myself, so I'm like, whatever. It's an opportunity to learn and someone to shine their knowledge. I always say, tell me about it. Yep, that's right. That's all it is. When people tell me stuff about, no, please don't summon it. Yeah, I miss those good old days with the boy Zach, your boy Zach streams. I still say, is that Trey? There you go. I pictured more like I pictured it more like a movie title, to be honest. There you go. Yeah. It's guys, I can't wait too, because I'm a big fan of Eric Weathers as an artist and as a letterer. So the idea of, the money we spend on him is money well spent. You know what I mean? Like, we're not loaded. We don't have a ton of cash, but I have, like, that is, who does, I think, in a lot of cases these days. But I do think that this, you guys deserve the best letterer that I can get, and he is the best, period. So it's cool. I'm really looking forward to it. Eric's a terrific guy too. He's another one of those people to where I'm always like, when I hear things are going well for him, I root for his success, man. I just think it's, for me, it's a weird thing, because, like, I love stand-up comedy. I love people like Dave Chappelle. I love, I love people who can do really great biting commentary and all that stuff. But, I could do my share if that was my thing. It's just not my thing, and I don't think I would be probably as good as some. But Eric is I love seeing people succeed who are passionate, who are good people, and put their time in. And that's the thing about it, with artwork, with anything you do. Here's the thing that overwhelms me sometimes in the best sense when I'm working on this book, is it's not like, what if people don't like it? What if blah, blah. The thing that overwhelms me, which those are all things. The thing that overwhelms me about this book is that how many amazing people out there are excitedly waiting for it, and how people are going to be excited when they get it. That's a lot, man. Like, that is, that's the stuff that if you're used to the grind of doing this work, and if you're used to just working hard, and if you're used to taking the slings and arrows and the criticism and all that sort of stuff just in general, inherent in life, once you get to a certain point with that, that is what it is. The thing that kind of blows your mind is creating something that people are excited. Like, when I did my first 2 art books, and I didn't have, the full force of Comicsgate behind me at all, and I funded those art books on my own with my work. I'm incredibly proud of them and how they did, and it also gives me an appreciation for what Comicsgate's done for me as well. Hearing some tattoo artist in France say that he got the book and it got him back into painting, and he started painting in addition to doing his tattoo work, and he was doing artwork with his daughter. That stuff is incredible to me. That's gold, man. Yeah, I miss you, boy. I don't know how they did it, but they got to him and he just gave up. I think that you never know. I think sometimes people just need to recharge. Yeah, he seems like a good dude, indeed. Yeah, I seems like a good dude. Yeah, Eric Weathers is so dry. Yeah, he's great, man. It was great doing CG team with him. But I think that sometimes people just get burnt out. Like, artists and creative people, they're typically, if you're good at something, it's like finding an athlete at any given domain who's good at talking to the press and good at talking to the fans. The chances you're going to be good at those very separate skills are low. Because it's like, go to comic conventions, meet artists. You're going to meet people like Todd McFarlane every now and again who are, like, talking to the fans and are excited for every single person. But, man, it's tough. Hopefully less those excited for than those who'll be ticked they did not back. That's right. Hey, listen, I'm happy either way, guys. I'm thrilled. It's what the mainstream should have been supporting. Yes, absolutely. They were too busy gatekeeping, and that's what it is, guys. If somebody, there's nobody on YouTube who is going to amass a large audience and be able to hold on to it for long, who is not earning it, and who is not going to have to work for it every single day. And they're going to have to deal with their stuff, right? We all know this. We see this stuff happen all the time. It's why when I look at somebody having, who's a big YouTuber and then, getting demolished in a debate and having a complete meltdown or whatever about that stuff, I've got sympathy for that, man. Like, I look at that stuff and I just go, people, it's tough, right? It's tough. Like, you gotta, if you don't have good people around you, in your life, in your actual life, to kind of say to you, hey man, I think you need to unplug for a bit. It can be very difficult. And by the way, sometimes when you see a YouTuber, go away, they could be working on something like, say, I don't know, a relationship. They could have met somebody, or they might be needing to spend time with family or kids, or something comes up, or health. Not everybody always talks about, the stuff that's going on in their lives. And I just think that, it's my thought on all of this stuff is, just to kind of I don't know, just to kind of like, you know, take things slow and sort of, you know, judge slow when people are in a tough situation, a tailspin, because people go through things, and be able to sort of chill and apologize, you know, when you got to. But it's I will tell you this, guys, on this side of things of putting yourself out there, promoting and streaming, it's crazy. It's crazy, like, to even think about. Cough, Tim Pool's Social Blade, yeah. Yeah, well, and there's another example, right? Guys, this is the thing about it, right? Meritocracy for the win, amen. With Zach, strangely, I think it's the case of no icons. He ran a mile from being portrayed as one. Yeah, at least that's my guess, yeah. They were too busy getting... Yeah, and this is another thing about it, yeah, about that whole thing. I think if you actually make something, like, with your hands, like, whether it's... You see people who are plumbers who have YouTube followings, you see people who are bricklayers who are YouTube followers, you see people who have cooking success as YouTubers. Even if YouTubing isn't what you do and you do something else for your job, it's easier to stay balanced if it's tied to a physical skill than it's tied to just plain commentary. Because it gets really easy to get turned around when you're trying to track where the commentary is at any given moment. Like Frank Frazetta, Bob Ross, both dead, sadly, and both are crushing it in their sales or their YouTube views. You got to be able to think about things in terms of, to me, it's this chair, it's this desk, it's this art. It's you guys. Do you guys know what I mean? Hail Skunk Artworks, it's great to see you. Another artist brother here in the chat. Absolutely right, man. And glad to see you here. And so I always say, I would always tell, you know, my kids, and I would tell anybody, it's like, are you feeling stressed out? Are you feeling like your head's spinning about the internet? Go do your dishes. Go vacuum your house. Go do some cleaning. Do something physical. Reorganize a space. Whatever you do, don't get sucked into that until it's your all-consuming reality. Don't do it. Go outside, touch grass, as they say, but get some sun. All of that stuff is important. And to me, I don't think it's normal to be constantly in the public spotlight. I think it's got to be one of the most difficult things. It's like you're running a marathon. You're at a party with the entire world, or 100,000 people that never ends. It's wild, you know? I understand why Zach settled, and it was his choice, but I can't help but lose a bit of respect, fair enough. Yeah, and that's how it is with people. Like, people have a right to do that, you know? I also don't think that the fans, viewers, appreciate the time commitment that is involved in running. Oh, my God. It is a lot of time, I will say that. I think some people really appreciate it. You're right, some people probably don't. But I know you guys do, and I thank you for being here, guys. I mean, seriously, you could be anywhere. Thank you. The cost of equipment, you're absolutely... Guys, yes. All of that. Yeah, all of that. It is work. It is a job. Yeah, clean your room. Guys, Jordan Peterson was the man, you know? Jordan Peterson, like, people should read that book. Men, women, whatever your background is, you should read that book. I had Bob Ross on the other day. What the hell kind of accent is that? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what that is. I've heard people try to argue it's Alaska. I've had people try to argue it's this, it's that. It's the Bob Ross accent. I honest to God don't know. Yeah, Ethan has... Oh, sorry, it just jumped on me. Ethan has said a lot of people in CG had loved comics since they were 8 years old, and they had their heart broken. Don't you know Berserk? Yes, bonfire scene. Zach lit a beacon, and people gave the last of their hope. Let me try that one more time. Ethan said a lot of people in CG had loved comics since they were 8 years old. They had their heart broken. Do you know Berserk? Bonfire scene. Zach lit a beacon, and people gave the last of their hope. I gotcha. I think I know what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. But then he went away. Yeah, it's tough. Michael Bancroft, we probably don't like to admit it, but this scene is not as forgiving to bad takes as we should be, and Zach has no problem giving the hottest of hot takes. Yes, that is very true. Channel member Michael Bancroft, thank you for being here, brother. It's always great to see you in the chat. Miss you, man. We got to get together sometime and chat, man. Just even off stream, dude. It's like we should do something and hang out, because it's been ages, man. Yeah, it's not as forgiving, and I think it's just one of those things. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Simply Green, his respect is not absolute. I lost all of it. There you go. Michael Bancroft. I'm like trying to keep up with the chat. Hello, Bancroft. Eric Cuffles, but I'm not one to talk. Yeah, guys, I mean, at the end of the day, right, I mean, it sounds great, right, to when we see Bob Ross or all those folks, you know, doing their thing from beyond the grave. But the amount of people who just hated Bob Ross and crapped on everything he was doing, we can't forget that kind of stuff, right? And there's a reason why you don't have a lot of footage of Bob Ross giving his thoughts on the state of the world and how things go. I was telling somebody this the other day. Can anybody pin down or tell me exactly what Todd McFarlane thinks politically? You can't. Because he doesn't go out of his way. He's had some hot takes, but he never has really deeply delved into politics, ever. Because he's running a business. You know, because that's what he does. And it's like there's something to be said for that. And I think all of us have to just do what works for us the best. Some people have, and maybe it's worked for them. But, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to get so tired, you have to be yourself. You know, nobody can do, YouTube, there's no way you could sustain a lie, man. You can't. It's too difficult. I don't know why you would want to, but, I mean, I guess it is what it is. Who knows? But it's you know, when you guys were talking about, someone was talking about the Timcast and Tim Pool thing, man, that guy has had, like, an opinion on everything, and he switched that opinion a lot. Now, he has a right to do that. People have a right to change their minds. But it doesn't speak to me. I see him and I go, this guy will be for whatever the thing is that he thinks the thing... He's chasing causes. And that when the causes change, he changes. But he never thinks about how they connect together. That's just me personally. If you like Tim Pool, awesome. Rock on. He's doing well for himself. If Tim Pool loses half of his followers, he's going to still be doing better than I am. And hats off to him. It's not an easy game for him to be in. And if it makes him happy, then do it. Do it. If it makes him happy, great. You know, the rest of the stuff will sort itself out. But I think everybody should be doing, and everybody's got to kind of keep themselves focused on the things that they want to do. You know, another great Todd McFarlane quote, I remember when I was a kid, he goes, if you don't like broccoli, don't blame the grocery store because you keep going there, buying it, and eating it. So I just tend to go after the stuff and follow the stuff that I'm into. And I try not to think about, I try not to take ownership of what, you know, I'm just thinking of, unrelated to this space actually, of what YouTubers say, think, or do, or what, you know, what they owe me or what they're about, because I honestly don't know them. I mean, I don't know anybody, you know, outside of the conversations we've had. Until I meet somebody in person, it's you know, I'm just going off of what I have information wise. You know, obviously you guys spend a lot of time with us, so you know. I understood. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not much into wishy-washy takes. Yeah, me neither. I mean, I definitely have been known to change my mind about things after thinking, but I've been pretty solid on what I've thought about certain things over the last couple of years, and I haven't really changed. Yeah, Jay Ryan, I hear that. We're not as forgiving to bad takes as we should be, so stop. Just stop. Look at that. It's just, there's a lot there. Yeah, stand like a tree, don't flop like a fish, have an opinion, and own it. Absolutely, yeah. Spice, Michael Jackson too. Republicans buy sneakers too. Michael Jordan, you're absolutely right on that. Yeah, let your yes be the yes and your no be the no. Amen. Yeah, Tim Pool is one of those, at least borderline Asperger's peeps who thinks they are so smart. He's just intelligent but not here what he thinks he is. I understand. Hail Tammy A, channel member Tammy A, and of course Admiral Wack as channel member. Thank you for being here for this craziness. I'll always remember when R.A. The rugged man almost beat. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Hail Siege Perilous indeed. Yeah, guys. I mean, think about it this way. Like, this is the way I look at it. When people were asking me, like, whenever people would ask me when I was a teacher, I have not changed very much on this at all. People would ask me what I thought about a particular political situation. All I would ever do is ask them, can you tell me what Article 1 of the Constitution of the United States is? The founding document of which all of your political stuff is based on. And nobody, except for maybe 2 or 3 people in my entire time, one of whom was Canadian, by the way, could tell me what Article 1. I go, if you don't know the instruction manual as a supposed sovereign citizen of this country who, like, is responsible for it, understanding it, if you don't know what that is, shut up. It's that simple. Nobody talks about civics. Everybody talks about politics. And it's just not my bag, you know? Yes, it's great to see all of you guys. I will teach Tim Pool when Ethan goes on, just because I'm not sure that E is aware that Tim is the only host who has guests on, so he can tell them his opinion. Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's a weird thing, man. It's a weird thing. I will never be as smart as the university educated. That's a special kind of smart these days. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. Oh God. So many things about that cross my mind regularly. And yeah, when people ask me about colleges and art schools and how they work, I've taught in a state school in their visual arts department. I've taught, now all of it was in the Northeast, but I grew up in Tennessee, so I have a little bit of different experiences about this country. But I've taught at a small private art school, and I've taught at what's considered to be, one of the finest art schools. I will still give measured opinions, but I feel very comfortable giving opinions on what goes on there. Because I've been in there. I've been inside of that space. And I understand the kinds of people it attracts, and I understand the kinds of people it rewards. It's that simple. And I think that, I think that when it comes to certain things, if you look at the artwork I've been doing my entire life as an artist, I can actually point to things that are common threads through it that are a part of what my aesthetics are. I can also show you guys examples of artwork that I've done that is me trying to do something else. And you can always tell the difference when you see that kind of artwork. You can always tell when you see stuff that isn't coming from, the person themselves and what they're trying to say. Working on another Nosfero page, painting bricks, laying bricks. That's what I do. And really is the equivalent of it, I have to be honest, Yeah, and if you think we live in a democracy and not a federated constitutional republic, maybe voting is not for you. Yep, absolutely right. I loved when Kanye told Timberlake he didn't care about his opinion. We'll give that one to him. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, warmer weather is coming for you soon. Yeah, gosh, wouldn't it be nice? Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get out for a walk with the missus today because it's warm enough out here. So always good to see. I know it's like 71. It's 71 today with a high of 30. Oh no, Tammy, no. Yeah, just another brink in the wall. That's right. Perverse incentives are an issue in a lot of places. It's not merit being rewarded. Yeah. I mean, and this is the crazy thing, right? Just like only you can prevent a forest fire, only you can govern, and that is why, again, Jordan Peterson's "Clean Your Room, Take Care of Your Own Space Soon" is such important advice. Is that before you try, and by the way, just in general, try to avoid this, but before you even consider fixing the entire world, sort yourself out, right? Before people think about, like, how do I put this? When an audience member goes to a film and they are not entertained by the film, that is a very, that is just it. It's just it. You go to a restaurant, you don't like the food. You don't like the food. That is great. When you are another filmmaker and you don't like and you need to critique someone else's films, it gets into a weirder gray area because then it starts to have an element of it could be about your own self-interest. Now, finding a pure audience who buy the stuff they like, most people who are protective of their time, right, and value their time will spend very little time on stuff they don't like. It's the way to be productive is not to sit around critiquing things you don't like, but is to actually build something. Hence Comicsgate. Hence what we're doing here, man. And that's the thing. Oh, you'll be a Floridian in 23 days. Congratulations, Tammy. That's awesome. Yeah, brink. I actually like this brinking. Yeah, good day for a walk. Yeah, I do need a walk. You ain't kidding. Only you can prevent forest fires. Only you, man. The slogan campaign put so much pressure on Sakura. Stop! Yeah, you guys are killing me. I get what you meant, but if I had read that wrong, it would have gone bad. Yeah, brick happens. I do find it hilarious that Peterson is controversial for giving dad advice. That tells you who people don't like in this day and age. They don't like the dads. You can see it in every film. You can see it all over culture, man. People are not fans of the dads. And it's all right, though, because we don't need people to give us permission to be good fathers, good husbands. We don't need anybody giving us permission for that kind of stuff. What we have a responsibility to do is to move towards excellence. If I've got paint and your support, guys, if I've got your support, God willing, and I've got paint and paper and God willing the creek don't rise, I will make great artwork for you. That's what I need. If you give me what I need, I will give you what you want with this book. I will give you something beautiful and stunning. That is the job. Do you know what I mean? It's simple. And it doesn't matter what they're doing at Marvel. It doesn't matter what they're doing at DC Comics. Once it starts to, it matters for me to have the gist of it. I can't live in that space. I'd rather be here with you guys because it is way more fun. Way more fun. Have you connected with A Drink with Crazy? He's a YouTuber who says a lot of the same things as you do. Are you talking to me? I will have to check it out. That sounds cool. Yeah, are you talking to me, Michael? I don't know if you were talking to someone in the chat, but that sounds cool. I don't watch my YouTube channel, so that would be kind of weird. But it's funny. I go looking for people who think things that. This is another funny thing. This is what Mike. This is why I watch your channel, man. I go looking for people who are different than me for entertainment, which is very strange. Or maybe it's not very strange. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I check it out because I'm always curious to see what other people are doing. Yeah, he's almost fainted when you were born, so I hear. Oh yeah. There you go. I have dad jokes. I have a dad. I've hated dad jokes for a while. Yeah, there you go. Jay Ryan told me to clean my room once. It was disturbing because I wasn't home at the time, and I was worried Jay had broken into my house. There you go, man. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. You talking to me? You talking to me? I don't see anyone else here, so you must be talking to me. I've even got a cabbie hat. You talking to me? Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, like I watch the Townsends, I watch Horror Monster Collectibles, I watch boxing stuff like crazy. I love watching fight stuff. I'm even getting into MMA because we got so many MMA people here. So yeah, man, that's the fun thing. Yeah, my mom. You didn't think my mom saw it. Oh my God. Oh, rough. That is rough. Yeah. Oh, when a dad goes down during that scene, man, that's some rough stuff, dude. That is some rough stuff. Yeah, man, I don't get freaked out by that kind of stuff, thank God. So, yeah, it was not my experience, but that'll affect you, man. Seeing humans get made. I'll always say this stuff, man, and it's the truth of the matter. It's sort of the base of everything I do. I mean, there's nothing I'm gonna make on this paper that is gonna be better than the people, that I made. It's not gonna be better than these kids, that's for sure. And I always tell my kids that, but also it's an important thing to do. Like if I have to choose between certain things, I've got people I care about in my life and things I care about, and having those kinds of priorities are really important. And I think it gives people a certain ease when they're hanging out with you. You know what I mean? It's like when I hear about one of my friends in CG and they're sick or whatever and they're not doing well, I'm concerned about them. I'm like, hey, man, are you okay? It's like I think about people as human beings first. And the whole relationship thing, and it's why I don't make books with other people. Probably, I mean, Eric Weathers is someone I'm bringing in, to work on this book. It's awesome, to have a letterer there. But I think part of it is because I sometimes like to keep business stuff and work stuff separate because my friends in CG are my friends in CG. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it great. It makes it great to be able to hang out with people, root for them, and do whatever. Yeah. Pay-per-views. Yeah, pay-per-view fights, man. Yeah. Humans are gross. I didn't have to see his... MMA is sweet, but expensive if you want to catch those pay-per-views. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. It's craziness, man. And it's huge. It's huge. It's huge, man. It's like, I'm one of those people to where there's too much entertaining stuff going on, and there's too much cool stuff going on, and there's too many good people out there to just get distracted by the other stuff, man. It's just not how it is. Holy cow, that's a ton of bricks there. I went ham on those bricks, man. Oh my gosh, guys, it is 2:30, and I have got a walking date with the missus so that I can hopefully survive long enough to do a couple other issues of this book and some other fun stuff that's going to be coming out. As soon as this book is done, it's going to be like Unleash the Hounds, man. Because once the artwork is done, then I can start doing crowdfunding campaigns for all these different versions of this that I want to do that you guys have requested and talked to me about. All this supplemental stuff and more art books. But the thing I wanted to do when I put my flag in the ground and said I'm Comicsgate, I'm coming into this space, is to create a character, make a story, put it out there, and walk the walk. Because until you've done that, it's like you really can't weigh in on any of the stuff. That is dude, yeah. That you took the words out of my mouth. That's the next thing after this, actually. And Rob, hail brother, I hope you're feeling better, man. I was just thinking of you when I was talking about friends of mine in CG when I hear they're not doing well, man. I'm glad you're doing better, brother, because we need you here. One of my favorite people in this outfit, dude. Shanth can tell time. It's 3 p.m. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's 3 p.m. here. That's right. That's right. So, yeah, I want to do... Oh, my God, bless you, Rob, for being up at this hour. Much love, brother. Yeah, I mean, there will definitely be an art edition of this book in the future. As this goes well and continues to do what it does, that's going to be the next thing I want to do. Because there's certain spreads and there's certain pages, you know, like, let me zoom or move the camera out. The old-fashioned zoom. There are certain spreads, like the stuff I'm doing. There's certain spreads, like the stuff I'm doing on this page right here, that you're going to want to see larger versions of. I mean, these things are crazy, you know? Like, you guys have seen this page, right? And it's like about 1 billion times. But like stuff like this, you're going to want to see that with just the artwork. I know a lot of people want to see that kind of stuff. And that's what it's about, you know? And it's you know, when you get rid of, you know, when you see the stuff, just like the raw work that goes into all this stuff, I think for people who are the art nerds, you know who you are, and who are interested in this stuff, it's like, that's what they want to see, you know? They want to see, you know, get in there and see the artwork, and see the pages, and see the kind of, the complexity of, like, how this stuff comes together, and how it works, and that's what I'm here to do, you know? I'm here to entertain, and I'm here to sell stuff, so if you guys want to buy it, I'm going to make it. That's the way it is. Oh my gosh, you guys are great. You guys are so great. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah. I miss Rob all the time. It's a constant state, guys. It's a constant state. Oh, God. Thank you, guys. You guys are so great. Yep, that's right. You guys are killing me, man. Oh, my gosh. All right, guys. So I got to wrap things up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be... You're going to love those. You're going to love those so much. I cannot wait to get this stuff to you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. And I'm going to be doing more streams, and I'm just going to be, like, just getting in there, you know? It's like I need to stream with you guys because I enjoy it, and I miss you guys when I'm not doing it. So let's do this thing. Let's have fun. Thank you for all of my new channel members. I'm going to update the credits with you guys who became channel members during this stream, so thank you so much for that. And I'm going to close this out with the credits that I play of channel members. So thank you guys so much for being here. Much love. I'm going to update that for the next stream. You guys have a great day, and thank you for being here. Take care, and I will see you guys soon. And as I always like to say, peace, because it is, of course, what my name means, but also because you guys do, and I appreciate you guys. Stay gold. You guys are awesome. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon.